Modern Plumbing Industries, modernpi.com. If you mention Tom and Dan, you'll get 10% off any of things that you need fixed.
What you got going on?
Any service.
I know all of our listeners are just like us, and like plumbing issues, they happen.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And they're terrible.
And Modern Plumbing has been, they're a second-generation family-owned business and serves in Central Florida since 1975.
Yeah, and surrounding counties, man. I mean, they handle everybody around here, right?
Yeah, Seminole, Orange, Lake, Volusia, Osceola, drain, sewer, water heaters, any plumbing
Big,
problem.
small, like every size type of deal, they handle it.
Residential, commercial, even projects like I got an outdoor shower installed by Modern Plumbing.
I'm not allowed to have those.
Great job.
I'm not allowed to have an outdoor shower. In my neighborhood, that's considered trash. You have an outdoor shower inside like a goddamn American. Outdoor shower.
By my pool.
What are you, little Abner?
And so any plumbing problems, talk to them. They're a great company. And like I said, residential, commercial, industrial, 24-hour service calls.
Pretty much any area you can think of. And I will say, all jokes aside, they're really good guys. They do great work.
Yeah.
Really quick, really knowledgeable. It's nice to have a plumber on call, man.
And mention us for that 10% off. It's modernpi.com. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
Real quick, thank you to everybody who came to our beer release at Hourglass over the weekend. It was a really good time.
Yeah.
Thanks to Curtis Earth.
Thanks to every single listener, BDM, new person, maybe just beer enthusiast that made it out there. Super Mario Ken was out there. We had some
seen him in,
legacy members.
10 years.
Wouldn't have ever thought that would be on my bingo card. Good to see that guy. A lot of new faces out there. A lot of ladies out there, because ladies like handcrafted beer, I guess.
Yeah.
And the Hourglass guys, you're so great. So thanks for just another. That was my favorite one yet. And I know I say that a lot, but I've been getting into trouble with a lot of people because that beer goes down way too fast.
And there are some 4-packs left at both locations, I believe. When I left Hourglass, it was light, but there was some 4-packs left, so... I'd give them a call or swing by and you can grab a 4-pack.
Get to work, red lager. It's super tasty, light, and crisp, and crushable. All right.
You're right in the fact that anytime I meet a new person, this is their first event. Like I talk to a guy, he's like, "Oh, it's my first time coming to." I'm like, "First time."
We get a lot of that. Yeah.
We've been doing this a long time. Like, when did you start listening? How?
Yeah, and those are the good ones too. Because look, I get it. You're like partnering with us, and then like if something goes wrong or you chicken out or like your anxiety or whatever, you still got delicious beer, you got great food. So yeah, that's a good one to go to. But hats off to all our friends at Hourglass for just making it great.
So 4th of July is next week.
Yes, sir.
And of course, our friend from Pirate Spot Fireworks, Craig, is here. How you doing, Craig?
Hola, how are you, sir?
Good to see you, man.
So you are right in the middle of it.
This is Hell Week.
You've all 3 locations are open. Longwood location in Sanford, right in the Seminole Town Center Mall parking lot, and then in Eustis. So 3 tents are open, and they are going right now.
Open, stocked, ready to go.
Okay.
So
I was perusing the website. You can too. IWantFireworks.com.
Those early deals are, I mean, if you want some really good fireworks deals, like right now, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And in the next couple days, those early deals are done. So I would go now up until Wednesday, correct?
Yeah, we get so ridiculously slammed the last couple of days that we always offer specials and stuff. But I offer the best stuff the first week because I'm trying to get people to come earlier to give me a break on the last couple of days so it's not as crowded. And so
you just
it's the epitome of like, you would think everybody would understand that we just want to get our work done fast. Come buy it all now. It's ready to go. And he's going to price it that way. He's going to push it faster in the beginning. I mean,
Plus, I like doing my fireworks shopping when the tent is not crazy busy because it gives me time to walk through. Plus, like, I make sure that no one takes all the good cakes, because sometimes when you guys are restocking,
that's what they call you, right? Tommy Good Cakes. The old Tommy Good Cakes.
And all the good stuff, get there early to grab it. And plus, like, they got a bunch of buy one, get 2 free and deals on big cakes and,
What's your most impressive, other than what we're going to watch a video in a little bit, what's your most impressive thing? I was going through the website. I saw one I loved called Reptile Dysfunction.
fantastic.
The fact that our friends in Asia get these names so horribly wrong. Reptile dysfunction. It's so good. It made me laugh. It's so cute. It's like they were writing really fast.
Oh, yeah. There's several where we had
There's another one called Something in My Teeth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Something in my teeth? Who came up with that guy?
Yeah, all the time I look at the names, and there's one like Diesel, but it's misspelled.
Yes.
But like, I'm like, my computer keeps wanting to autocorrect it, but that's what I ordered, and that's what it says on the label. So I have to have it.
It's art. It's art. There's Mr. Lucky, Hillbilly Hero.
So Mr. Lucky is my favorite new cake. When we saw that at the demo, everybody in our group was like, "Oh yeah!" It has a Garandola. So that is this giant spaceship thing.
What?
That has jets pointing down. So it's 28 shots.
This isn't the clock one I saw, right?
Yeah.
Is this the clock one I saw? Or that's next to it?
That's a different one.
Go to the okay. Here's what I'm going to tell people to do. I've never said this. Normally, we just get you in here and then we start goofing around about fireworks. But I don't know why we haven't urged people. Like, if you want to see what all of these things do, and I think we used to say it early on.
There's a video example of each firework
with sounds and audio and everything. You can see everything you're going to buy, including this.
Yeah.
What is
Mr. Lucky.
Okay.
So it has 28 shots, but then this big round rocket ship shoots out of it with gold sparks, and it's a 2-stage, so it's got 2 sets of rockets. It goes over
rocket.
It's round.
Ship, rocket ship.
Imagine like there's a
wrong
video.
with you? Why did you yell rocket?
No, my tongue is still messed up.
There's a video you can find online of like one of these giant ones in India that goes up. That's like
the
15
spinning one.
Yes, the big round
and then
spinning
the thing goes straight. Oh, you need to get that.
Yeah.
You need to get a Mr. Lucky, dude.
So this
that's what you're taking to Miami.
After it finishes the shots, this thing comes out of it, and it's probably 9 inches across in diameter.
Yeah.
Spins and goes up into 2 stages, goes like 200 plus foot into the air, and then breaks into a whole bunch of gold sparks. It's whistling as it goes up. It's cool as hell.
Yeah. Like, hold on, what is this called again?
Mr. Lucky.
Mr. Lucky. Yeah. Hold on.
It's here.
Show me Mr. Lucky.
Okay, here he is.
So the spinny thing comes out
of the middle of it. Yeah, it's a big round one.
Okay, here it is. I'm on the iwantfireworks.com website.
Okay.
I'll scroll up a little bit so everybody can see that. You can see it going off there.
Okay, so those are the mortars.
Yeah, it's really going. Right. And the way they filmed this too, you can see all the here it goes. Here it goes. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Wow. That's America, baby! Holy
that thing rocking it up there.
So that's I feel like that's got an extra element of danger. I've never seen one you light it does something that is like that's not all. We're gonna blast the spaceship off. I almost said it. I almost cursed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's dope.
And so, and that's a great thing about Power Spot is Craig handpicks a lot of these fireworks and knows like this whole thing started. I should remind everybody, like Craig started this whole company.
He's a hobbyist, right?
This is a passion
for me. I'm a pyromaniac.
Yeah.
I was buying a butt ton of fireworks with a group of friends. But I'm originally from Louisiana, where you could get great fire. You could buy dynamite in Louisiana if you wanted, right? It's Louisiana. And I came to Florida, and it was ridiculously expensive and junk. And I was like, where's all the stuff that I could buy at home? And then I found out that most of the companies here just buy the cheapest stuff they can, mark it up crazy amounts, and sell it. So I found out that if I got a wholesale license, I could order it from other companies and have it shipped in. So I started doing research, and that's how I got started, is ordering for like me, and I think we had 7 of us, so 8 altogether, for us. And then we, the first time we did it, we just sold off. So like if we had a box of 10, we'd sell off 2, just to help cover the cost of the wholesale license, because that's like $2,000 a year in Florida.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we did that for New Year's Eve, and then I started getting calls in like April the next year going, hey, my name's Chris. I got some stuff. My buddy Dave got some stuff from you. And like, we it's the best stuff we've ever seen. Do you have anything that we can get? So I was like, well, maybe I'll order a little extra this time just to sell off. So I went to my then girlfriend, who I am no longer with, and said, hey, baby, I'm going to put $14,000 on the credit card and fireworks. And she lost her mind.
Yeah. That's what broke apart the relationship. My God.
Well, all of the extra was gone in like 2 weeks. And this is like May. And people were begging me, and I was like, I'm not selling you mine. So I spent a year researching before I opened my first location, and a big part of that was going to demos and watching fireworks firsthand to see what the good stuff was.
Is it like an Asian good old boys club getting into because they're all most all of the manufacturers are from China, right?
Everything from China, but it's all U.S. companies that do the importing. So, like, I import through like 3 or 4 different companies. The biggest one I import through, they have an office in China with reps who stay there year round, but they're all Americans. Now they have Chinese working at the office there as well. So, whenever we went to the demo this year in April, I met the rep from China was in the U.S., and I got to sit down and talk with him about some of the new stuff coming out and about some of the supply chain issues and other stuff that we were dealing with.
Because really the shipping is more damn money than the fireworks, right?
It's insane. It had gotten much better. It was crazy during pandemic. It's gotten much better. Now it's up a little bit from where it had gone down. But the domestic shipping right now, like the trucking in the U.S., is crazy. And the ports are, like, there's strikes going on and all of other stuff going on in the ports. So,
how long will fireworks last in storage?
Well, I wrap mine just like a wedding cake in aluminum foil and saran. Put it in the back of your freezer. It'll last. And it tastes exactly the same. It tastes exactly the same.
You can put them in your garage. They're good for a year in your garage plus.
Okay.
I mean, if they're actually climate controlled, that's better. You don't have to worry about heat setting them off. It takes direct flame to set off fireworks. The worst thing that can actually happen to fireworks is
humidity.
The opposite. They get too dry. It gets hot, and the fusing will dry out. So the timing of the fuse goes away. So when you light the fuse, either it won't light or it burns really quickly or really slowly. So there's not a show because it's all different fused, different speed fuses throughout the thing to time it.
Gotcha.
So it just looks like junk whenever you set it off. But
so they'll just deteriorate where they won't show the same show they were supposed to.
Or a couple of the tubes might not light because it's so dry the fuse dies out. It burns itself out.
Gotcha. So now
we should do a buyback program where you can take your old dry fireworks and trade them for one new sparkler.
I thought that's what campfires were for.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
that's a joke. Don't do that.
We do a lot of jokes on this show.
It's a funny thing.
We're talking about things in common sense. Just come on.
Before we go into the Gatling gun, which Craig sent me a video.
Did you buy me one of these?
No.
Buy me one of these.
I don't really want to talk about it because Craig does not currently have these for sale.
Okay. Oh, no, but they're there.
Oh, you have them? I thought you wanted to get them.
I got them. They came in. I literally picked them up yesterday.
Oh, so you got the Gatling gun.
I almost brought one today, but I was so busy I didn't have time to swing by.
I want to stand in my backyard.
Shoot it off into the drop.
I want to do a nude. I want to do a nude.
Stand on your balcony.
Nude, and fire it. Yeah, that's America. Do you want me to pull this video up?
Okay, so
this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
But I wanted to talk about fountains real quick because I feel like a lot of people, they may live on a residential street where you're like, well, some of these big cakes and stuff, like I'm a little nervous about them, and then they're like, well, I don't go to Power Spot because the fireworks are too big.
I honestly don't know the rules. Like, I don't know the rules.
I'm gonna buy my cheapo garbage at Walmart or Winn-Dixie or whatever, which is not cheaper, and it's straight garbage.
Well, they're not even like fireworks.
So I don't know what you're even doing because it's not cheaper than Craig sells them.
Look, every time I see them, even in Sam's and Costco, we just laugh.
Because
it is all fountains, and a lot of people will come to me and they're like, I bought this big package and it didn't have anything but fountains in it. But even as fountains go, they're mediocre fountains. I mean,
you could put together, because Craig has, and you could see them all at I Want Fireworks. Because some of the fountains, my kids like more than the big stuff just because of how close it can be and what they can do now.
Or that one we had last year that they were running around and I swear to God, that fountain you gave us lasted for...
Oh, the pink lemonade one. Lemonade fountain.
It just kept going and go. But it was cool because the kids, they had their sparklers and the fountains going.
There's one called Mamma Mia that's crazy. You could get a handful of fountains and nothing gigantic and put on an awesome show for 4th of July if you wanted to, just because of the quality.
Yeah, we just had a good friend of mine who came in yesterday for me to help him, and he's like, look, they had just moved. He's like, I got tree covered to like 30 foot. And I was like, well, let's just give you a whole bunch of fountains. And that's just what we did is we went through and picked him out like a dozen different fountains to do a show.
Yeah,
and I was like, you don't have to worry about any of this hitting the trees. So.
And
there you go.
and the fountains will shoot off, different. I call them mini mortars. So they're going off it puts on an awesome show.
Yeah, it's like more like eye view, not you're detonating something huge in the middle of the sky.
But if you're a real man, you'll get the Gatling gun.
Yeah,
Which we're about to show you.
I mean, look at this.
So Craig,
I almost cursed you.
no,
I didn't. But look at this. I mean, this is and it's got music. You got to listen to the music.
So Craig, explain to the audience what the Gatling gun is.
So it's an automated Roman candle firing machine. It literally rotates, and it's got a cartridge that you slip into it that has 400 shots in the cartridge. And you do have to manually light it in the top of it.
Look at these guys.
But
it rotates like a minigun.
Yeah,
this
like
is
a
what you
minigun.
used to kill the predator. This is the Bill Duke. I want the Bill Duke.
This is Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, you're right. It is Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, the minigun.
Can you get me two Venturas, please? Look at those guys.
Oh, it's insane. So I got an email from one of my vendors. He's like, hey, we have these coming in. I don't know anything about them. I don't know how many are in the box. I don't know how many shots are in it. I don't know anything except this video. So he sent me the video, and I immediately responded and said, I'll take 20.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't know how much the cost is yet or how many. And I'm like, once again,
Look at that thing.
I'll take 20.
Wow. Look at that thing.
And even with 20, it's going to be insane to, they'll be sold out as soon as we talk about this because everybody at their 4th of July party is going to want to walk out there shirtless and shoot the minigun off.
You put your pit vipers on. You put an American flag t-shirt on.
So
you shoot it at the
They
sky.
came in
Just for
yesterday.
social.
I opened the box. I started playing with it, and I immediately texted him and said, can you send me another pallet? Which is like 30 more. And he's like, no. He's like, I have 10 more left. And I was like, mine. So put them on a truck and get them here.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
Oh, the whole chat room, everyone's like, I want one, I want one, I want one, I want one. I mean,
I'll be honest, they're ridiculously expensive.
You're going to have to do a lottery.
It's stupid. Although, so my brother...
Does not matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
I need this for my social media.
Don't you see the I don't care in my eye?
That's how I feel. My brother was in town.
In fact, the more expensive, the better.
I had sent him the video, and he couldn't believe it. And then he happened to be in town yesterday, or for the weekend, when it came in, and he opened it. And he had said he wanted one when he saw the video. And he saw it, and he's like, I need 5 of those. And I was like,
5?
We're like, I only have 10?
I can't give you 5. So I gave him 5. So I had 15 left.
All of these people are like, just shut up, take my money, shut up, take my money. Yeah.
Well, you better go get it
guys
fast.
warming their credit cards now.
In
But
fact,
anyway, those are highly limited. And, to be honest with you, all of the things that Craig's talking about, even the great deals, even the bigger cakes, even the better fountains, that's also limited as well. You got to get there early and get your stuff.
This year, I'm doing great in stock wise. The biggest issue in the last couple of days is, can we open the box fast enough to get it on the shelf while you're there shopping? Because we have so many people there shopping on the 3rd and 4th that you may not have the selection. Not because we don't have more, we're just opening so many boxes to restock.
yeah, you're in between restock.
Yeah.
So, like, people are literally clearing the shelves, and then you're trying to put stuff back
They're
on the
grabbing
shelf.
it as we're opening cases. We're just handing it to them. It's not even making it to the shelf.
You should just have them come to the warehouse and just sell it all the way.
Oh, yeah, the chat room's a little confused. So let's talk again about it does reload. You reload
Yeah,
it, right?
so there's 6 loads in it. Each load has 400 shots. So it's a total of 2,400 shots in it.
Oh, I'm a scream dropping
So
load.
my brother is a mechanical engineer. So he looks at it and he's immediately like, I could reload this myself. I can take other Roman candles and fit it in. It's just a base, and I have a 3D printer. And I was like, oh, my God.
Wait a minute, I like the way this guy's thinking.
Oh, yeah.
I like the cut of this man's jib.
Yeah, he
I
takes
think
after me.
Yes, I like all of that. Sounds great because is it made out of plastic? What's it made out of?
Yeah, the base is made out of plastic, and it's got some rings and everything on it that are plastic.
That's
and he's like,
dope,
I'll
man.
just take those off and put new Roman candles
Exactly. And then I have my own Halo gun. I'm a video game man now.
So, just to finish us off with some new cakes that you have, and I noticed this theme back in New Year's Eve, because I have still a cake from New Year's that I didn't launch off that I'm going to let off on 4th of July, and it's called Kush. And then I saw
that's on the website.
Yeah,
You can see that one on the website.
And then I saw Ross, who works at the Pirate Spot tent in Longwood, and by the way, Ross walks me through every year when I go shopping.
Go see Ross.
Like he does a great job. He'll tell you all about the fireworks, and that's the great thing when at Pirate Spot is like all the employees will walk you through and show you everything.
It's the best way to do it.
But I've noticed a lot of marijuana themed cakes come out.
Oh yeah, they're popping up now.
And I wonder if China got the word. They're like, United States loves weed.
Yeah.
So because it's weird.
They put the Let's Go Brandon on there.
Yeah.
Like
That
I bet you can't keep that one in stock.
They love weed and Brandon. Like they don't understand.
And the Gatling gun.
Yeah. They have gun, weed, and Brandon.
And monster trucks. There's no shortage of cakes with monster trucks.
You know what's funny? Have we had a sharp decline in... There used to be, back in my day, it used to be a lot of boobies on the cakes. Has there been a decline in the...
No, there's still tons of cakes. There's some amazing cakes that I can't carry because I really just can't keep them in a tent. That is so border, and we have so many families shopping. I'm like, that's outright nudity on the way. Like, come on,
I need 2 Gatling guns and 3 camel toes. Sorry, we are a family establishment. We do not carry camel toes.
I like you're gonna
guaranteed they have one called camel toe.
Oh,
right?
I'm sure. I'm 100% sure.
I'll put my feet on that.
Greg, I know that you may not want to do this idea, but if you do,
what if you and I did a curtain?
You were right there.
But we'll sponsor it. Tom and Dan's Dirty Fire. Okay, hold on. He's
you have to go behind the curtain. Ross will be there checking your ID. And you go behind the curtain. It's
Tom and Dan X, because that's what you do when you do partnerships. It's a partnership. Tom and Dan times Pirate Spot. It's Tom and Dan. They brought in the spicier, dirty, and I want all the terrorist stuff. I want Osama bin Laden's severed head. I want all of that. I want all
and the more extreme, let's go, Brandon. And the other side. Whatever, anything goes. We don't care. We love money. That's all we care about. Anyway, but could you stock an entire dirty fireworks section?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure I could fill it with products.
Hawk Tua.
We had
Hawk Tua spit up that. I'm sorry. I'm acting stupid.
I had one that we carried for like a year and a half that had Chinese writing on the box, like the Chinese characters. And someone pointed out to me that, like, when you looked at it at a certain angle, like if you turned it sideways and everything, the Chinese characters actually spell FUCKYOU. Like,
there used to be a shirt.
But there
used to be a shirt if you turn your shirt sideways.
And you have no idea.
I have no idea.
50-year-old. That's a 50-year-old man's joke on the side.
That's exactly it.
You know what's funny? Because I feel like they could just do absurd jokes that would sell more than anything. Like, why haven't they, in the marketing of it, just come out with ridiculous joke stuff? Because who cares?
I think
some of the smaller companies do. Like, the bigger companies try to keep a little bit more mainstream because they know they're selling it to like big stores and everything else. Right. But the smaller companies, anything goes. Like, I get brochures with labels that are just literally big exposed boobs on all 4 sides of a cake, and I'm like, well, I mean, it would sell.
You can put a piece of electrical tape on it. Let's
behind the curtain, the Tom and Dan curtain. And it's selling out fast.
Oh, that place. You have to have Ross in there, number one, because you need a heavy hitter in there, somebody that can talk to people until you get the hell out.
But the rest of employees, illegal immigrants. I know business. I'm sorry.
Just to end on a high note, SJ, he did search because he wanted to see if I was correct. By Fisherman Fireworks, yes, there is a camel toe cake.
Oh, yeah. No shot.
Guaranteed.
Well, again, iwantfireworks.com. Yep. All 3 locations are open. Longwood location, the Sanford location, Seminole Town Center, and the Eustis location.
Go early.
Yeah.
That means now. Like, get yourself if you have over the next couple days. If you have time, I would get over there.
And I know a bunch of BDMs always ask me every year, is there any sort of BDM deal? I know Craig.
We just posted. So I was going to do it today, and I had so many BDMs blowing up my mailbox and my text messages. I posted it yesterday on the BDM page.
Okay.
And I'll post it on the regular Tom and Dan page as well with the specials that we have. For
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
I get buddies texting me. They're like, "What's the
really
BDM deal this year?" I'm like, "Well, Craig is busy. I don't know."
literally had somebody.
It's
They're
like having a Citibank code for Taylor Swift tickets. People like hitting me up. They're like, "What's the pre-order?"
Someone called and I was like, "Well, I'm posting it tomorrow night. I'm on my way right now. Can I still get it?" And I was like, "I'll post it."
They love you, man. Well, hey, we love you too. Thanks for being here. Congrats on everything. This is going to be a fun year. I can't wait to see. We got to video you with a Gatling gun.
Oh, yeah.
Any of those, and we'll replay that after the holiday. Okay, that's
awesome.
what we'll do.
All right, we will be right back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Well, we have a special guest.
Yeah, sure. I'll play it.
Okay,
I'll play
all right.
because it really does set the tone, ladies and gentlemen.
Saving you money, one boat at a time. That's Ram Daisy. Buy a boat.
Ladies and gentlemen, fresh off of his latest book tour, I give you the financial genius of A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan and A Corporate Time, Ram Davesy.
How you doing, Ram?
I presume there was some sort of song. With my top hat, I cannot put your headphones on.
He's back. Ram Davesy's back. Hey,
You're very welcome.
we have had a ton of people that have been messaging us.
Good. Good.
Dare I say that this is one of the finest segments we've ever done? Certainly with a client.
Hopefully, we're encouraging your listeners to hoard gold and like I say, try to acquire all the money.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I see a lot of social media posts about telling us what money is now.
Yeah.
Because, you've taught everybody what money is and isn't.
And then you also went, and then I don't know if you know this, but this week we had the opportunity of appearing on the Jim Colbert Show, also on Real Radio, and Tom told a financial analyst that he was an idiot.
I know I didn't.
You were like, this guy don't know nothing. I'm Bitcoin Tom.
I was like,
What's your
Ram
opinion of
Daisy.
Bitcoin? Not to go off script at all, but do you have an opinion of Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin in the Ram Davesy world?
Well, let's talk about it. Tom, let's get back to basics. Remind people what money is.
Yeah, okay. Well, the Ram Davies.
The characteristics of money.
Yeah. It's heavy.
Heavy.
Right.
Ah, yeah.
It
was listening.
It makes a noise.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's loud. Yeah.
Loud.
Partial credit.
We'll make a
Partial
noise
credit.
loud.
Yeah. And something about riding it in a lake. I forgot. I forgot the third thing.
Ram laughed at that, so I feel like you're on it. Even if you got it wrong, you're on his good side. I feel like.
Yeah. Basically, it's boats
form-
and gold.
Certain forms of money are open water navigable, Tom. That is true.
Yeah.
Money is hard. It is
okay.
heavy
It's hard.
and it is loud.
Hard, heavy, and loud.
Heavy and loud. That's right.
It's
The
heavy and it is loud. Let's address Bitcoin.
Okay.
Is Bitcoin hard?
Yeah,
It is not.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Oh, I don't think it is it?
How many? Let's drop a data center on your toe. Let's use.
Oh, okay.
Let us use-
So where it's stored, technically.
I wasn't thinking.
The Ram Davesy standard test for
Okay.
is it heavy? When you drop it on your toe, does it hurt?
Yeah, I mean, if you picked up an entire data center or even a computer within said data center and threw it at my legs, yes, it would hurt.
Yeah.
And that also implies hardness.
Oh,
Hard and
that's
heavy
very
kind of
hard.
hand in hand there. Your toes aching
Sure.
away.
Yeah.
And then is it loud?
It makes, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say that not in the traditional sense of like beating a tambourine, but yes, data centers. We worked with one at Real Radio, Mike Spry.
So you hear the electricity.
and a lot of fans. Yeah, it is loud. Yes, it is.
And also, if you put a number of data centers into a sack and jingled it, it would make it louder. The other standardized test.
Yeah, true.
So Bitcoin, Tom, is it money?
Well, based on that, yes.
It checks the boxes of the three main characteristics of money. Bitcoin, money. Yes, sir.
Okay, I like it. See, I learned a lot today. You're the first person that's ever been able to explain to me what Bitcoin is in a way that I fully understand.
And again, let's just cover some more basics. Dollar bill, Tom? Dollar bill such as this? Money or not?
Okay.
Oh, no, he's going to start ripping up. The last time you were in here, you started ripping up money, and it makes people very uncomfortable, almost as uncomfortable as AI songs.
This legal tender. It is legal tender for all debts, public and private. But is it money, Tom?
Well, I get.
Oh, God. He's gonna do
Well,
it.
based on last time, you ripped it up and you threw it out. Okay, there it is again.
He's doing it again. He loves it.
And from this action here, tearing up a dollar bill, what did we learn today, Tom? Not money, and also Dan needs a better lock on his drawer. Good job locking the drawer, Dan.
Yeah, where's my dollar?
Good job locking the drawer. The lock.
That's the butler dollar with the penis on it.
Insufficient to beat Ram Davesy, however. You do need a better lock at the end of the day.
All right. Well, man, my God, I didn't realize. What have you been up to? Is there anything new in financial news that we should be doing? Did you have something on your agenda?
Well, I did give Tom some homework last. I gave him a little assignment. I told him to start being the tragedy of the commons in his own area and start making some money with some lambs. Tom, did you not?
Well,
I'll answer that. I've been surveilling your area. You did not, Tom. So after a number of days, I did step in. I don't know if you've noticed. You're a busy man. I know you don't look around the world very much. I've noticed that in the surveillance of your area that I've been engaged in because I am grazing lambs in your cul-de-sac, Tom.
Yeah,
I did see
I saw by the
some
race
animals.
car. Right by the race car. So now let me.
Yeah, they get scared away every
And
time.
just since the last
When he
time
starts
we've met,
it up, their tails go crazy.
in wool and meat, I've earned 1.75 boats, Tom, and that could have been money in your pocket.
Yeah.
That could have been money in your pocket that I'm taking away from you. That is the Ram Davesy method.
What would you say to someone like our good friend Seth Petrozelli who bought a boat at the tune of, let's say, maybe $120,000
Yeah.
and it breaks down all the time?
Yeah.
Every weekend he's got a new starter, oil leak,
and he
bent
told me
prop.
he told me just yesterday
Yes.
that even though it was under warranty, somehow they told them that because of the hours they spent, it was $800 or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah, it's
and,
$900.
and I'm like, hold on, I don't think that's what warranty means.
Yeah, he said, as we were going down the stairs at the Science Center, he goes, it was under warranty, but me have to pay $900. And I'm like, well, that... I said, I'm going to talk to Ram about this.
Yeah, well, a boat, again, money, hard, heavy, loud. It definitely is money.
Sure.
And what did my grandpappy used to say about money, Tom? You got to spend money to make money. So when you are a boat owner and you're enjoying that stress-free lifestyle that a boat gives you,
Yes.
you are going to have to pay some money for upkeep and maintenance and gas.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, that
gas
makes-
does
that
not
makes
just
sense.
manifest itself in the tank of the boat, ladies and
makes
gentlemen.
sense.
You do need to pay for your gas in your boat.
Okay.
Is it stress free? There's like only a couple times where I'm actually sitting down on my boat, stress free.
Can I tell you something funnier?
It's
We
like
didn't get the whole story.
99% of the time is some sort of stressful scenario
We
where
didn't get the
I'm
whole
I've done the
getting
math.
the boat on.
When your boat is running and in operation, that time does outweigh the other times. So I've done the math.
We did not get the full story because what did Seth say to us when we were going down the stairs? He said, it was under warranty. That was the first part. Then he
Yeah.
said, but me have to pay $900. That wasn't it. And then he said, me also have bent prop.
Yeah.
He didn't even say what he paid for the new prop.
Yeah. And then
So
that,
he was
a
definite-
bent prop is not under warranty because that means
Because you bid it.
A fool and his money are soon parted. That's when you drive
Hold on. I didn't
drive
know.
your boat recklessly and you bend your prop on a manatee,
Yeah.
perhaps. I'm just guessing.
Who the
No
hell
one said
would be- like,
Petrozelli.
who goes around breaking their money or bending their money? You don't be
Correct.
drive your money over manatees.
Correct.
That's the dumbest thing you can do.
It can be expensive, but if you're not putting money into it, how are you going to make money from
Correct.
it?
Money in to get money out.
Correct.
All right. I love it.
So, Ram, anything? Have you done any other shows spreading the good word of Ram Davesy?
Oh, I'm constantly out there trying to tell people about money and how to acquire it. And people ask me, why are you helping me acquire money? It's just, big fish eat little fish. The more money I manage to pack on you before I eat you up, it's been that benefit to me.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense
The
too.
more money your followers make,
Correct.
the more they'll give to you.
If
Exactly.
you're just joining us, let me correct the chat room. Someone just joined us, says, why is Ross dressed like a pilgrim that sells roadside fireworks? That is Ram Davesy. There's no Ross here. You're an insane person, and it's very insulting to our new financial analyst, Ram Davesy.
I like when we first started this, we're like, we can't put him on camera. They'll realize what's going on.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we were like, just put it up.
He's mad. He's like, I missed the whole thing. You can go back and watch. I think there's been 3 appearances of Ram at this point, maybe 4.
It's interesting you brought up roadside fireworks. I just tried to get myself involved with the roadside fireworks concern. It did not work out, unfortunately.
What happened?
I tried to become partial owner in a roadside fireworks stand here locally called Power Spot.
Okay.
Yes, I've heard.
And just did not work out with their owner, this gentleman, Craig LaFleur. We tried to work it out. He was too insistent.
Amateur hour over there.
He was too insistent on providing quality product at low prices, and I was just not Ram. That is not the Ram Davesy way. I really wanted to fleece some suckers in that Longwood parking lot there, and Craig just would not agree to my terms. Insisted on, like, for example, safe fireworks, and I can't afford that.
And Ram's other motto, duds, who knows?
Duds, we got them. They're here.
No, we also have a no dud guarantee. It just is punctuated a little bit differently. It is no period dud guarantee.
Permission to step into reality for just 1 second, because I am going to tangent and lose this. Did you and I talk to somebody that does inspections or something, and they were like, tell Ross to knock it off talking about that long or, what am I manifesting here?
The long
Somebody
extension cord.
in reality land told me, they were like, we heard Ross talking about the long extension cord that goes behind the big lights. Tell him to knock that off. That's my area, and I police it. All right, like I have to get back there, and I'm the one's always kicking them out of it. Like, who am I talking about?
He's in charge of
of power or something around that.
He works for the county, making sure.
Yeah, somebody reached out to us and was like, I know exactly what Ross is talking about. They always take the goddamn orange extension cord and they run it 1,000 feet.
Well, this is a very Ram Davesy thing to do, which is there's free power just streaming everywhere.
Yes.
And it's ours for the taking. There's no fences around it.
Ram, I think he's got it now. This guy's talking like a real Ram Davesy.
Yeah, it's just everywhere. And there's no sign that says, like, stay away from our power. There's nothing. It's just that it's up there.
I've never seen that.
I know, guys, you've lost me. I don't know who this Ross is or the situation you're talking about, but is this a 1,000-foot long extension cord to steal power from a power pole type of situation? Is that what we're talking about?
Right. Oddly enough, this is a 1,000-foot orange extension cord from a power line going to some homeless people.
Highly endorsed. Ram Davesy guarantee. That is a way to make money. I do this so frequently. I bought a 1,000-foot extension cord factory in the Philippines.
All right. So, Ram, I did, going back to, your question, why would I teach people how to make money?
Correct.
You brought up a good point. Mm-hmm. The more money my followers make, the more they'll give me. Now, in the gambling world, I often hear this, where there's a lot of people that teach other people how to gamble. And then they're like, I know how to gamble, here are my picks, right?
Well, you know what they always say, those they can't do.
Well, then
right?
People question them in the fact that they're like, wait a minute, if you know something that everybody doesn't, and you know the best picks, why are you giving them out? Why aren't you just getting rich off them?
Correct.
Why is this your job?
That is the age-old tale.
Yeah. Like, why are you teaching people how to make money instead of just being rich yourself?
Well, at a certain point, I don't know that much about gambling. If anything, like the thought of putting my money at risk in any way is sickening to my very heart. I don't understand gambling in any regard. But in the business world, Tom, I can explain it to you probably very easily. Imagine that, for example, I have a business scheme such as the Spanish prisoner ploy. If you're not familiar with it, it's look it up later. It's not important.
Okay,
but
right.
say you have a certain business network that you can engage with, and when my Spanish prisoner ploy business scheme has run its course in my network of friends, perhaps I can find another business practitioner I could pass along the Spanish prisoner ploy to for a fee to use in their network of business associates. Does this make
you're
sense?
in a new network.
Mm-hmm. And then also at a certain point, I will acquaint myself with that person I'm selling the business scheme to, and I will have another superseding business scheme to steal all that. I mean, acquire all that money from them eventually.
That's what happened to my grandfather. They stole the whole company from him.
Correct. What's your grandfather's name? I may have been involved with that one.
It was Dan. Yeah.
So basically, there's always someone else.
Yeah, in Virginia.
Oh,
Martinsville office supply. They robbed him blind.
Daniel just told me.
I don't know anything about it.
He's the one that went crazy.
He went to a sanitarium because he was having a nervous breakdown, and while he was in there, his business partner used the Ram Davesy method to steal everything he had. That's a true story.
Yeah.
It works, folks.
And then Danger just told me about this, so that I have a direct relative that went crazy.
Yeah, business crazy. Not just crazy. The business that they did was so stressful, it drove him insane. Yeah.
And
Tom, when Dan does eventually go crazy and you do this to him, him telling you about this is tantamount to like wearing that dress out in public. You understand what I'm saying? He is asking for it at this point.
Well, that's how I'll justify it when anybody asks me.
Ram goes for it.
I think you have a legal he is asking for a defense case to be made.
And then I'll tell all the listeners, I'm like, he's living a better life, which is like way in there, like, okay.
Oh, yeah. No. Simple crazy.
No, in my tracking on this, you've sold the microphones by that point. You don't care. You're out.
Plus, I don't know how to use them or distribute. I can stand up on something and yell.
Oh, yeah. That works for crazy people.
And I'm going to recommend just sell your Instagram to the guy who used to run Bang Energy Drinks. He needs one. That's just when you don't care, go ahead and do that. Mm-hmm.
I miss that guy.
Yeah.
That guy was awesome.
He practiced some ramdaisy methods, but he didn't. He was a little loosey-goosey with it, and you can't be loosey-goosey when you have federal regulations.
You can't. Well, I feel like we got a lot. I feel like this out of all the segments, it kind of helped you. Like I think that you naturally are a Ram man.
I feel like a lot of things Ram says are right up my alley.
This is what people like influencers say. You should have said. I feel like some of the Ram's teachings are resonating.
Oh, okay, yeah. Within my soul.
Yeah.
Say soul.
Yeah. Say soul. Say that. I feel like me and Ram are on this journey together.
Okay, yeah.
People love buzzwords like that. And then throw in nothing burger and cringe a couple of times. Magnifique.
So, Ram, anything else before we leave?
Yeah, just to help you guys put a couple of more of the pieces together, some of the questions I've gotten, some of the feedback. People say, when, Ram, you're trying to acquire all the money, does that mean you're going to have all the money at one time? No. Money is meant to be spent. You acquire the money and you spend it. Think of yourself as a financial human centipede. Your front end is acquiring the money.
Okay.
Your middle self is enjoying it.
I always feel bad for the Asian guy because I don't feel like he wanted to poop.
And your real self
I mean?
is passing the money on to someone else at that point. And doesn't mean you can't reacquire that money. Just keep
Sometimes you start crying because you're having to pass the savings on to others. And you start crying because you know what you're doing is killing other people. The passing on the savings.
So the question becomes, how much money do I need to have on hand at any one point? And I do recommend minimum this is the bare bones of getting started with the Ram Davies method, is that you want to have enough gold to sleep on.
I'm going to say between the tearing up the money, the hat, the cane, and the human centipede reference, this is top tier craziest thing we've ever done, and I'm here for it.
You want to have at least enough gold to sleep on. You brought up Scrooge McDuck, Tom, and while I do follow a lot of his principles and precepts, and I do agree that he is a great financial master that we should all look to for wisdom, and you do not recommend swimming through money. That is an easy way to dislocate your shoulder. What you'd want to do is more of a smog type of situation. You want to lay on and curl up upon and sleep on your pile of money.
Nestling?
You can nestle. You can do some nestle, some rustling, a little bit of, sort of like a 3-turn dog walk and get yourself a little nest in it. And I know what you're thinking. Money, it's hard. It's heavy. It's loud. It sounds like it's going to be a nightmare to sleep on, Ram. And what you're not taking into account is that you have never seen in your life enough money to sleep on.
True.
You need to acquire that pile, and then you will understand how comfortable money is to sleep on, and it is almost as stress-free as on a boat. If you can get a pile of gold on a boat to sleep on, Tom, that's sleep right there.
Pirates. But you're talking about pirates. I feel like in the next episode we're going to learn who really had money locked down. Gold on a boat.
I happen to have known Michael Jackson for just this short amount of time, and I recommended him that he get a pile of gold on a boat, and he was in the process of putting a shipping fleet together to do this when he did die of the propofol poisoning. And I was on the precipice of getting him off of that drugs, that sleepy juice away from that doctor.
Trying to save Michael Jackson.
I was on the precipice, and I did actually acquire.
Did you know that?
I did acquire one of the ships full of gold that he did manage to put together, and it is one of my prized possessions.
Michael Jackson's gold ship.
There are.
I love how crazy it is.
Number of curious gold statues on that ship. I will take you on a tour one day.
I remember hearing stories about when he would come to town at certain places and he would just shut down stores and he would just walk through and he'd just be like, one of those, one of those. And they just start loading all this bric-a-brac garbage like gold elephant.
I tried to explain one time we were on a shopping trip. He bought 12 mummies, and I tried to explain them. They are not heavy, Michael. They are not hard, and they are, maybe at some point they were allowed. Not now. Mummies are not money, Michael. Michael did not listen to me in that
Not
respect.
loud, light.
All right, Ram Daisy, everybody.
Hey, thanks so much, man, for being here. We really do appreciate it.
We'll take a quick break.
We gotta play them out.
Okay.
That's Ram Daisy by a boat.
Thank you so much, Ram. We really appreciate you
welcome.
being here.
We'll be right back.
Don't forget Tom Gold. None of that check business. You always forget to sign it.
With our guest, Ross McCoy, who recently took his son to get his wisdom teeth out. And I want to hear about that experience.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
EJ is in studio. We're going to do a nerd jock.
Yeah, we are indeed.
Should we do the standard nerd jock, or should we...
Let's do the standard.
Okay. All right.
I'm way gun shy on the AI. I'm so gun shy on the AI.
No, it's good for our intro.
I'll be honest
A
with
new
you.
intro. It should be a new intro every single
No,
show.
people get mad about it.
No, they don't.
They really do.
Do you have
I'm on the front lines of this
coming
stuff.
on?
I'm
No.
on the front lines of this stuff, and people like on Reddit, they'll
don't.
be.
You already
they'll be
called
like,
me Big Fat EJ in the chat room
I'll
on
change
Twitch.
that. I
Yeah.
will change that. I will change. Here, we'll do
Two old men got mad.
He'll do his. We'll do his regular.
I'm not as big as Jelly Roll.
Okay, you are not as big as Jelly. You might be bigger though, taller.
I might be taller.
I think you're taller than Jelly Roll.
Yeah. He might. I think he's like 6'1".
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Here we go. Here's a little nerd jock.
Nerds. Nerds. Nerds.
Jock, nerd, jock, nerd.
Do you know who's talking in that?
In the intro?
Yeah.
I thought it was you.
No, it's Larry King.
Really?
Yeah, where he goes. I mean, like, this is the reason why.
Did you clip it from Larry King?
Yeah, that is all
that's kinda
handmade.
cool.
All of those samples are handmade. I feel like an old grandma. I have to-
Larry King?
I feel like an old
The ghost
grandma,
of King?
and
Which
where
one does he yell,
I have
Jock
to
or
show
nerd?
you how long it took me to make this quilt, but yeah, that's Larry King. I think I stole some stuff from any given Sundays in there, but when he goes nerd, jock, nerd, and then MC Chris is in there. Yeah, I stole.
Wow.
You got to get in there and sample and do the things.
Larry King looked like you dressed your Halloween skeleton. Because
with the long tie and the glass.
Yeah.
You know what he looked like to me?
It was bony.
Okay, in the SpongeBob cartoon, there were superheroes, and it was somebody and Barnacle Boy, and Barnacle Boy was the sidekick, and Barnacle Boy looks exactly like Larry
Wasn't it
King.
the voice of Ernest Borgnine was the superhero?
Yeah,
yes.
I forget the name of the other guy, but Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. There you go. It was Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy looks like Larry King.
All right, DJ, what do you want to start off with?
What do you got, buddy?
You know, let's go sports. Just to get in with Canadian Josh, I picked the Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup last night.
All right.
Out of Game 7, which was pretty fun to watch. I actually watched like the very end of it.
That's the most hockey you can get.
Well,
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They gave you
Game 7. It went
yeah.
all Game 7. Yeah,
They gave you every bit of hockey they could squeeze out of the season.
Yeah.
So, did you bet on it? Or
No,
do it?
I didn't bet on it. I didn't drive over to Hard Rock, so I didn't do that. I'm doing that this weekend.
Telling us you picked the result after the result happened
would've
is
known.
a meaningless nothing.
I didn't pick
That
it.
I will agree with.
I just picked it because it was a story, and I wanted to step on Canadian
I
Josh's
thought you said
segment.
you picked
No. The winner, no. I would never pick the
okay.
winner.
He just
Yeah.
likes the fact that Floridians once again are
beat the
hoisting a
Canadians.
trophy.
Yeah.
It's got to drive them crazy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's got it.
So
Like out of the last 5 Stanley Cups, it's been a Florida team, right?
I talked to
Yeah.
my buddy Stone, who Dano
Stone the hockey man. I love that guy.
and
He's awesome.
He's a local hockey coach.
Tough
His
hockey man.
son goes to school with my son. Anyway, I talk to him about hockey all the time. I text him last night. I'm like, "Who do you got in this game?" He's like, "I'm in Canada right now." And he's like, "I'm watching." And he's
Are you
like,
kidding me?
And he's like, "For Game 7." And so
He was there?
He all
It was in
Canadians-
Miami. The game was in Miami.
Yeah, but he was in
Canada.
He's in Canada for summer break, but so
Did he catch any games while he was there?
I don't know. I don't think so. But he's obviously, everybody's watching it.
Yeah, of
and
course.
Now super disappointed.
yeah.
But it was crazy. The
They were
Oilers
coming
came back.
Yeah, they were down 3-0 at the beginning of the series.
They
Yeah,
went
yeah.
swimming in the ocean with the cup. That's fun.
That's kinda
I didn't
cool,
know about
yeah.
That's cool.
And so, and now we've talked about this before, and it's weird because I know that if you live in Florida, you don't have to pay, any sort of state tax, and but wherever the game is held, that's where your game paycheck comes from. So it's not necessarily like it's going to save you all that much money, but there is some money advantage to living in states.
You play more home games,
I think just being here.
And,
I think something as simple as that. Like, we do take it for granted, and we do say it's way too hot. But if you're not, if you don't get any of this, you might be down.
But I wonder if they're going to try to do something that levels the playing field. If people are going to start getting upset that, teams in more desirable locations seem to be winning more. I don't know. This could just be an anomaly, and then we're putting that reason to it.
I kind of think it is.
But it damn sure seems like in the NHL that Florida teams do pretty damn well.
They do very well.
Well, think about how miserable it is just leaving the stadium at, like, let's Michigan or in Ottawa or something like that. It's going to be freezing cold when you leave
bring
the
up
stadium.
a good point with Vegas.
And then you come outside and it's like 80 degrees when you leave either Tampa or Miami.
And in the home of hockey that these Canadian NHL teams can't seem to go very far. Although they made it to the finals, so the Oilers,
and they almost. They evened up the series, which was insanity. I mean, I don't think that's something that typically happens. So good.
I've been watching some of the games. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, they're fast. No, it's not going to relax you before bedtime.
No, it's very intense. It's always back and forth. It's not switching over.
What else you got?
The other thing I have is the Volunteers. The Tennessee Volunteers won the World Series this year for the first time ever.
I did see that.
Did you watch? Did you bet on that?
I know. I stay away from games I don't know anything about, because then it's just a coin flip. It's
Florida
purely
State
gambling.
was doing pretty well too.
Florida State was in it for a while, but they got eliminated. In the semis, I think it was.
Yeah, I was following them because I guess it would have been their first time in
quite a while.
Yeah, quite a while that they did quite well. I don't really follow much college stuff. My wife does college football. She does Michigan and UCF. I don't know why I don't get into it.
The Volunteers is a horrible name. I'm just gonna say
Peyton Manning was at the game, so they kept on showing him every time like they were winning and stuff like that.
Is their mascot a hillbilly that grabs... Hold on. I think this is it. Their mascot is a hillbilly who grabs his rifle and runs to join the fracas.
I thought it was a dog. I thought it was like a hunting dog.
A volunteer. I thought it was a man. I thought it was a hillbilly holding a gun. And he's like, I'm going to join the fracas. And he runs out there and he starts shooting.
Yeah, because you're volunteering yourself into the service.
Yeah.
You're like a militia.
You're like the Russians are coming.
Yeah.
I'm a goddamn true blood, a patriot American.
Yeah. Hold on. Are you against America for me?
That's later.
I can't
January
understand.
6th or...
Hold on. I will ask.
All right, who are you volunteering for?
I can figure this out.
Anyway.
Hard drive.
But yeah, they beat Texas A&M 6-5, and they just stopped them in the last inning with a strikeout.
So, and then in this, we shouldn't even be talking about sports we have no idea about.
Oh, no, it is a coonhound. Well, then who's
That's
the
what I
old
thought
man?
it was,
Who's the old hillbilly? Who has the old hillbilly with the gun?
Can you use like metal bats in
you can
college
use metal
baseball?
bats in college baseball. That's why it's kind of fun to watch college because they can really hit some stuff really well.
Because with metal bats, you can hit away further.
Ding,
yeah, okay.
And the sound's definitely different. Instead of the crack of a bat, it's more of like a ding.
Yeah. And so I heard, and then when you switch to, I wonder if there's been players that just aren't as good at hitting wood
the
bats.
Mountaineer from West Virginia. That's the hillbilly with the gun.
I should have known that.
Although a mountaineer just means you're a mountain climber.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're a hillbilly, but he's a hillbilly. I know he's a hillbilly.
He is a hillbilly. Isn't he wearing like overalls?
But a volunteer, you're volunteering for the militia. Right? A mountaineer has nothing to do with the militia.
It says the mascot you're referring to, Dan, sounds like the Mountaineer from West Virginia University. And then it's calling me Human Master Dan? That's weird. Dude, it's seriously.
That's kind of scary.
Listen to this.
The mascot you're referring to sounds like the Mountaineer from West Virginia University, Human Master Dan. The Mountaineer is represented as a rugged frontiersman
addressing
wearing a coonskin cap and carrying a musket, embodying the pioneering spirit of the Appalachian settlers, Human Master Dan.
I like it. I could kind of get used to that. It's a little clunky and long, but I could kind of get used to that.
The other weird mascot is Nebraska's, the Cornhusker, and it's usually like the guy in overalls. He looks like one of your kids, like blonde hair, blue eyes, and everything.
Like a cute, Midwestern corn shucking child.
Do you have any other sports? Because I want to talk real quick about the.
I got the Olympics. J.J. Redick becoming the head coach, and Matthew Stafford wife cheating on him with a backup quarterback.
Okay,
those are the 3 stories I have.
I didn't know about that.
Let's go over them all.
God.
Well, since you got Matthew Stafford, you like that one, so
That's
because
terrible.
Tom looks just like Matthew Stafford.
Not anymore.
Does that mean his wife is going to cheat
you're
on him?
Skinnier than him now.
With a backup?
Now the last time I saw Matthew Stafford and his wife was after they won the Super Bowl, and some photographer or someone fell off the stage at the Super Bowl. Remember this?
Yes.
And then Matthew Stafford saw and then didn't do anything to react. Like it was like, oh,
yeah. And then his wife saw that.
Keep it moving.
And then his wife saw that.
And then his wife.
This is the type of character you have. This is the type of man you are.
And remember, his wife released a statement that they were contributing towards that person's hospital bills or something. Like they're trying to do some PR thing. But his wife was there, and the wife reacted. And Matthew Stafford was like, I didn't like just walked away. So he
wasn't his wife the one that had like brain surgery? Didn't she have like a tumor in her brain that was removed?
Yeah,
back
that's
in the day too? So I'm wondering if that
we
contributes to her.
removed the tumor from your brain and,
now that doesn't
and
like
all the
Matthew
memories of your husband.
So
Right? That's
what's
a
the
movie,
story?
Right? That's the story. Like some backup quarterback supposedly hooked up with her,
Dude,
and was like rubbing in his face.
Well, what do you
about
mean
it.
supposedly?
Are they divorced?
Stephen A. Smith was talking about it a lot this past day. I think he's just. I know
Smith.
it's one of those fake stories, but I think.
Or is it gossip, or are they because, or they're divorced?
Is this confirmed or what's happening?
Good job, BJ.
I like that we're asking questions and you're just sitting there like, I don't know. I don't know what
I
to
just
say to
read
you
the
guys.
headline, and I don't go into depth like Samantha used to do.
I wish I could use AI to blow you off the couch right now.
I wish a hard drive was a big fat zone.
I can make him anything you want.
It's not this good bullying the computer.
I know, because he'll take it.
Now, since we're on the subject of the NFL, I wanted to tell you guys, so there's been some rule changes. Of course, the most popular one is the different kickoff, and we kind of went over that and everything. But I found it interesting that the other day the Chiefs announced that they're going to use a safety to kick the ball off, instead of Harrison Butker, their kicker.
Really?
Yeah.
It's because of the things that Harrison said.
The landing zone.
They're punishing him.
Oh, probably too.
I'm kidding.
The reason being, and I read about this, is because it's not with this particular kickoff. You don't want to kick into the end zone because touchbacks are now at the 30, right?
Yeah.
So you don't need the kicker with a long leg to ensure.
So you've eliminated the use of the kicker.
And you want to no, just
you
for
save
kickoffs.
it for field goals.
Say field goals.
So you just need a worse kicker.
And not every team has announced they're going to do this. Only Andy Reid and the Chiefs. So apparently the safety, Justin Reid, can kick the ball, but he can kick like a line. You want it to be more of a line drive because nobody can move until the ball either gets caught or touches the ground. Mm-hmm. So essentially, you want to kick basically a screwball long drive,
spiral,
or just some like a hard to catch screwball line drive. So it lands
like a wobbly punt
between the end zone and the 20 and the landing zone, and you want you want the receivers. There's going to be two of them, or the people are going to run the ball back, and to not grab the ball immediately. And anyway, so then also the safety can tackle. He's a bigger dude. Kickers can't.
Yeah.
And so that adds another tackler on the field to fill a gap.
Okay.
So which the kicker traditionally wouldn't.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And you know what?
It's usually the kicker's a safety, and he's like last line of defense, and you don't want that guy being your last guy.
Why not just hire one of those big fat kickers that we all see on TikTok? Get one of those guys.
Well, just use another athlete that can kick. Instead of hire another kicker.
Will this though change, and will you start having kickers that are like beefier kickers because the position
or rugby
changed?
players maybe?
No, because I've heard people talk about this. You still want a good field goal kicker, and that's going to be that's going to be the most clutch.
But what if you are a good field goal kicker, but you're just beefing yourself up?
Well, then I guess the only
So
thing
you
that
can do
matters.
it all.
The only thing that matters is a field goal, and you don't even want that guy trying to tackle anybody because you don't need him hurt.
Yeah,
True.
So essentially, you don't want him tackling anybody. Like you want the kicker to go out there and kick field goals, and that's it. And then probably put another athlete to kick a line drive.
Well, because
Well,
some
that's
teams
interesting,
had 3 kickers on their team. They had a kickoff kicker,
Yep.
a field goal kicker, and a punter. You cut off one of those guys, you got another spot on your roster too.
Yeah. And speaking of that, that's another NFL change that's going to be interesting as well, is that you can now, the quarterback, you used to be able to, like, essentially all your quarterbacks had to be on your 53-man roster, which caused a lot of problems. Essentially, remember...
This sounds a little baseball-y to me. Can you have other people now?
Well, now you can take a quarterback off your practice squad. Essentially, the NFL wants to make it so we don't get any horrible games with real
third string
quarterbacks.
Rather than the emergency quarterback that's
But
like a receiver
I like
or something
this.
like that.
I do like this because it's like in baseball when you have your ace go out and you don't have anybody and they call somebody up and then you're
For the minors,
excited. But you get excited because it could be a guy that could really show out.
It'll probably be old quarterbacks that we haven't heard from in 2 years that are still good. You know what I'm saying? But Heineke,
like Flacco,
Flacco's an old man.
Yeah.
But you need an old man. That's what I'm saying.
Remember when Josh Dobbs? Everybody's like, "Oh my God, how he's
for 1 week?
He's still going.
not even playing." That goes to show.
What, did he go back to school? Isn't he like a super?
No,
genius?
just out of the league.
I know,
he's like a rocket scientist.
I think he's a rocket scientist.
No,
he's a super genius.
He wants to play football, and he's not good enough. And we thought he was.
Tom knows. Tom knows exactly what this guy thinks.
Big old Q-tip head.
Why isn't he playing on any team?
He can't get on the roster, probably.
Yeah. Well, why were we enamored by? It's crazy because we watch these games and we're like, oh my God, we've never heard of this person, and he's doing so well.
We like that story. That's a fun story.
And then he's never in, and the next year comes not in the league, and you're like, wait a minute. Like everybody was praising him for doing such a good job. And it's like, oh, we're not seeing this, how complicated it is. And then in certain systems, it's like, we can put anybody in there. And that's where we don't understand, like what coaches understand is a lot of these players are interchangeable.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in a certain range. Like there's some drastically better players.
I learned
and
that
then
from
there's
dance moms.
Yeah, all the same.
That's what. No,
It's
Abby,
true,
Abby Lee Miller, my daughter watches this all the time, and I go, what does Abby always say? And Maisie will look me dead in my face and go, everyone is replaceable.
Oh my God!
And I'm like, God damn! Like she knows
that's
the thing.
rough.
Yeah, that's what Abby Lee says. It's like everyone's replaceable. So that's no, but there's another part to that. It's not everybody's replaceable. Period. It's everybody's replaceable. So practice hard and be your best.
Yeah,
you could have an opportunity.
Yeah, or you could lose an opportunity because you
mess around.
So there is some truth to it before it gets villainized.
So another rule that I liked as well is now you could challenge if the quarterback doesn't get the ball off with the play clock down to 0. And we've seen this a lot.
We have seen this.
In fact, a lot of times at the end of a game, and I've been frustrated by it, like
there was one time in particular you came in here, and I can't remember the game.
But it happened twice, and
there was a bigger one though.
It may have been last year's playoff game with Lamar Jackson and the Chiefs, where Lamar Jackson 2 different times the play clock went to 0, and then he snapped it like a half a second after, but it was obvious on 0, and then everyone was screaming. Even the announcers like, "Oh, that," and you know, and then a lot of times when there is a hurry up offense, the referees don't catch it, and it gets so now they could challenge it and go back, and then if the ball is still in the center's hands when that 0's there. So that's going to cause a lot of... Do they
still give them that half second? Because usually it's they look at the clock and then they look at the ball. If the ball...
That's
that
been
was
the rule.
Usually what they gave him,
But now, if it's a video replay, it's going to be
now they're
exactly
go
0.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah, it's like what they do in
that's
basketball.
That's going to change a lot.
That'll change a lot.
They just did that in the playoffs. We saw that in the NBA Finals. Like you get that ball. Did you get it off before
is
the
it
clock?
off your fingers?
Yeah.
Is it still in contact with your hand?
I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah, and then now also they're going to allow a third challenge, even
if you're successful the first 2, right?
No, that's always been the rule. But now you only have to be successful in one.
One of them. Okay.
So you could still lose one and make one, and then still have a third challenge. So that they're off. I like how the NFL does change their rules to make the viewing experience better each year.
Yeah,
and they don't care about you. They'll change stuff.
I don't hear anything that's hurting us. So
Yeah. And then I guess the final NFL story that I wanted to talk about is Bill Belichick.
I was just reading that. I thought you were going to bring this up.
Yeah. So,
What is she, 24-year-old cheerleader, right?
24-year-old cheerleader.
How long has he been dating her? Couple of months?
Well, no.
A while?
People have said that this relationship has been going on for a while.
Yeah, I think it's been a minute.
And like over a year, and people didn't really know about it. It's now come to light. And it seems like at least the podcast I listen to, or like the talking heads, and everybody's kind of a little bit reluctant to talk trash about or to make fun of Bill Belichick. Well, because they still want him to like do their show one day or whatever. So everybody's like, good for him. They're like, good for him. You know,
a lady that could be his daughter.
You saw him on the Ring doorbell.
The Ring doorbell running out of the house.
This is a video I was telling you about. Look at that guy. He's in good shape.
He's not bad shape.
No, he's not. Hold on. Let me put this up.
Is he
so everybody
70?
can see it.
I
think he's 70.
Yeah, he's in his 70s.
Hold on, look at that barrel chest. Look at that. Look like my dad.
He may be like 74.
He looks like my dad mowing the grass.
Like older than 70.
That's how my dad used to wear his green shorts, barrel chest. He'd have on his fake Rolex, necklace, and bracelet. He'd be mowing the grass.
So here's my take on this. People are confused by this and shocked because
the old man's horny.
Old man has a young wife.
Why is that
And
confusing?
he has lots of money.
Robert Kraft
what
did
a
the
surprise.
same thing. He just did it in a massage parlor. They're horny.
Yes, people know that old men are like Hugh Hefner or like any other rich old man is horny. Robert Kraft, the old massage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But Belichick. It comes with a certain amount of respect.
Well, he's like a dad figure.
And dad figure and
he's always
curmudgeon. Grumpy and curmudgeon, right? So
I'm not going to do this broadcast.
Does this girl look like she would like a grumpy curmudgeon? Look at how cute she is.
She looks really cute.
Look how cute.
Well, it's funny because I've heard Belichick's different than what he portrays on the media. He kind of
probably.
he
He opens up to people that he knows.
Yeah, like his players have talked about Belichick is funny in the locker room and off
he's
camera.
pretty good at the roast.
And and he's got more of a sense of humor. And for years, 30 years, when he does the media, he's specifically grumpy. And I think he's probably playing into that. What people don't realize is old curmudgeon grumpy real men are horny. Yeah. Just as horny as anybody else. Yeah. Right? But they never get a chance to ever be with a 24-year-old cheerleader because they usually die with their old big fat wife. That's so true. Right? And they're just stuck with them forever. And they're never going to leave or cheat on them because that's how curmudgeon real men do.
Yeah.
So they just...
Well, it would be... You shouldn't do that. You really should look. You shouldn't.
Don't
do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Just break up with her and leave, but don't cheat on her.
No, but real grumpy old real men don't do that.
No, I know. He respects her too much to do that.
Yeah, they're just mad about it. They got their
I'll be mad about this until I die.
And then they die. But Belichick has a couple $100 million. He's famous. He's
in pretty decent
he's
shape,
a star.
for his age.
He's a celebrity.
Yeah,
like he's like one of the biggest celebrities in the NFL, right? I mean, I would put Belichick up there with, top 20 biggest celebrities.
Coaches, yeah.
I mean, top 5 recognizable coaches.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Top 20 recognizable sports people? I wouldn't go top 20, but he's up there.
But it's still...
Top 20 is a little too high. You got... tons of soccer, tons of basketball.
That's what I'm saying.
Tons
Just coaches.
Of football.
I think coaches. If you're going to go coaches, he's one of the
coaches.
top ones.
I don't think any normal young person sees that guy's
you're going
face
to see more
and knows who the hell that
like
is.
LeBron and Michael Jordan.
That's a little.
And stuff
that's
like
a little exaggeratory. But he's recognizable.
But so this is how the situation happened. But it's still a 74-year-old man dating a 24-year-old, which is weird.
And she's definitely she's also getting pressed by herself. And think about it, she can make money off this as well. She's going to be in every one of these pictures with him.
Yeah, and maybe they obviously have a relationship, and they.
We just have a problem with this because of the age difference, and because no matter how you cut it, it's gross.
It's a 50-year difference.
It can be gross.
Yeah,
I should say that can be. Can be gross.
Or if you're into old du jour, which is I've seen these videos.
Yeah,
it's online.
So saying, as society,
and if you watch that, it's off-putting.
Right,
You're like,
the bicycle and everything.
So no matter how you cut it, Anna Nicole Smith with old man, Bill Belichick with young girl, gross. Like
it's gross.
It's off-putting.
Both
we
ways.
look at it, we're like, oh.
Yeah. But as any old man, we want it.
We're getting close to that age.
If you ask any 75-year-old man,
But are you expected to split the difference? And like, look, dude. 38. That's as low as you can go.
Well, I guess it's just happenstance. If this 24-year-old likes it,
Really,
she's an older.
Really, it's only up to them,
numbers.
right? It's only up to him.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't care. Like, I mean, if he doesn't care, which I'm sure he's had people say horrible things about him before.
But what would be your number? Like, what would the lowest you'd go if you got divorced tomorrow?
Okay,
How young would you go?
Here's something I can honestly say.
The relationship would
How
be
old is
a
Bill
problem.
Belichick?
Let's say
72?
72.
72. He's 72. If I'm 72, I'm not dating a 24-year-old. I'm not.
Well,
I'm not going to date her.
The answer is
I might have sex with her because I'm horny.
Exactly what I'm saying.
But I don't think I would date her.
Relationship,
because I've been
no.
in the media long enough to know that I'm too sensitive and it would destroy our relationship. I'm too sensitive
because
for that.
everybody be clowning you.
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't be able to handle it. I'll have sex with them because you guys would be like, all right. But I'm not going to be sneaking out of her house. We're not going to be hanging out all the time.
Yeah.
But what is she going to like that I like? Probably nothing.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But I would have sex with her many times.
Exactly.
You're not a relationship. That's the right answer.
Physical.
That's 100% right.
Yes. I never get those questions right.
Because there is I guess Bill Belichick
we have a guy in the
doesn't care.
chat room. My girlfriend
Half your
was
age
20
plus 6.
years younger than me.
Yeah, but how old are you?
How old are you?
Yeah. That does matter.
Because Belichick is 74. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that extreme 20 years doesn't matter if you're 42. You know,
Right.
I mean, that's how the difference in Seth Petrozelli, you know? We know.
Why are you pointing out obvious answers? What are you doing?
I think he's got a 20-year age gap.
Yeah, he likes to use real-world examples, and I do not fault him for that.
But Seth Petrozelli doesn't look like, Bill
Belichick,
Belichick. You know?
I got 7 on
curmudgeon old
Andrea.
man.
I got 7 on Andrea.
Yeah,
Your
which
wife's
is
1
nothing.
year older than you.
Yeah,
What do you got?
1 year older than me.
opposite
Well, she's
there.
a month and 4 days older than I am.
But I can imagine that, like, and this may not matter to Belichick because I don't think he cares about like the.
He doesn't care about the media, so that's good for him.
And he obviously, I bet he has like he doesn't go to any of these like upper echelon parties or events, and unless he has to. Because what I'm saying is like all his other rich friends are the 100 millionaires in that group or the ultra rich in the NFL.
Yeah, they all have trophy wives for sure.
Yeah, but not to this extent.
No.
Not to that extent.
And
But
He's not going to be able to mingle as well if they're all there
and
with
the
their
other
big
wives,
fat wives. Yeah, it's not going to work.
The other wives are going to be. They're
going to talk.
But even the trophy
cash,
wives,
yes.
they're older trophy wives. Like they're in their 40s now,
yeah.
Maybe,
with husbands in their 60s.
Oh, yeah,
you know
they
what I'm
don't
saying?
like this.
Like yeah.
I don't think they like this.
And they're at least all talking S, right?
Yeah.
We all know each other. Like, listen, if any of us were in the room and all of a sudden one of us start dating a 21-year-old, 18-year-old,
What are you doing?
we'd be talking S.
That's what
About
Anthony
it,
Kiedis is
joking
doing
around.
right now.
Yeah,
They put it on the
Anthony-
BDM page. Anthony Kiedis of the Red Hot Chili Peppers broke up with his 20-year-old girlfriend and got a 19-year-old girlfriend, and he's like in his 60s.
Yeah. Although he does look like,
younger, yeah.
He looked like you put him in a super aging machine, but he's still young. You know?
Yeah,
he's a mask.
You know why he
it
lost
looks like
me?
a mask.
You know why he lost me?
What?
This is the mustache. When he grew that mustache,
He died. He dies
yeah,
there, right?
And when he grew the mustache, Chili Peppers used to be my favorite band.
Yeah.
When's the last time I said that? I haven't said it in years because Anthony Kiedis, when he grew the mustache and then he did the bleach blonde hair, and he was wearing his shirt off, I was like, oh, okay. And then he kept the mustache, and now he's stuck with it.
Yeah.
And now he looks like a crazy old, like weird.
that whole
one.
band looks weird now.
Flea has always looked
okay.
weird. John
The drummer.
Frusciante is fine. Chad Smith just looks like Will Ferrell, and then Anthony Kiedis looks like he's been young.
Well, listen, you get old.
Yeah.
That's it's kind of
It's coming for all of us. Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah. Eventually, we'll be old, and then somebody will be like, "He looks weird now." I got old. But that's the price you pay as a celebrity. You just have to take it. You know what I'm saying? And then Belichick, if he wants to get it with a 24-year-old, he's got to take it.
What do you think he said when they
Although
released the Ring doorbell footage and he's sucking his gut in? Because he's sucking his gut in because
He knows he's on camera.
He knows he's on camera.
Yeah. Although, if he coaches a team next year, which a lot of people believe he's going to, the players will love it.
Oh,
you imagine? Yeah.
Hey, Coach B.
Although,
All right.
You know what's a weird
Good
thing?
for you.
And this
He'll be getting bear hugs.
Oh, yeah.
High fives.
This is kind of a tangent, but
Maybe a kiss on the cheek.
I forgot what player was talking about this, but there was a player on a podcast. It may have been on Julian Edelman's podcast or something. But there's
love his show where he wears a white beater and he talks to
or Bill Compton from Barstool Sports and stuff like that.
Over like a moron.
But there
was
a former Patriots player and was talking about Aaron Hernandez, and they were like Aaron Hernandez had a weird relationship with Bill Belichick, where Aaron Hernandez would like call Bill Belichick daddy on the sidelines or during practice or whatever, and then like talk S to him like that, like, oh, I'm sorry, daddy, like.
Wait, would he baby talk it like that? I'm so sorry, daddy. We do better.
Well, he'd say it like he was a girl, and he was like, to Belichick.
Oh my God!
But
people are like, this guy's crazy. He's gonna murder the
And then this is on the internet.
Why you at the game?
I see this and because like Aaron Hernandez obviously mentally unstable.
Oh yeah,
but
lot to unpack there.
But for some reason, like Bill Belichick wouldn't be like cut that ass off, yell at him or say that.
Yeah.
He would just say, and then the Patriots player was like, it was weird that he just never addressed the Aaron Hernandez saying this to him.
He would tell him he wouldn't.
It's on the internet. I'm telling you. Yeah, he wouldn't say like shut that. Like you would think being curmudgeon Bill Belichick, stop talking to me like this. Like, go run laps or get the hell out of here. But he just wouldn't say anything. I guess obviously he's one of the star players.
Afraid of him too. Think about it. He probably knew some of the stuff was going on.
No coach is afraid of their player.
You've not met some of the players.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe if they're in an alley with them at night. But I'm saying on the field, no coach is ever going to bow down to a player.
You're telling me a guy that's like 7 foot tall could really smash you. You're not going to be scared of that guy.
No, well,
if he gets out of control, because I know some players.
But if he did, he'd be off the team immediately, right?
Yeah, but it's still you're going to get messed up.
I guess if that, but you don't really hear any of that, like players actually becoming
beat
physical.
Up a coach. I've seen it happen.
Maybe in the college level. Have you?
I've seen high school guys.
Let me see if this is the audio from that thing.
Time we're out there doing a walkthrough with Tom. Aaron's out there in flip flops, going through the drills, laughing, flipping the ball around, calling Bill Belichick daddy. And oftentimes, that didn't elicit any response out of Bill.
I had a locker right next to him, tried to help him, tried talking to him. But at the same time, I don't know. I think it was pretty glaring that there were issues.
Wow, he's like calling him like that's nobody's
daddy.
That's weird that Belichick didn't be like, "What the hell?" You know what I'm saying?
Stop that.
Yeah. Don't call me that. It's disrespectful.
What
right?
if it's so weird that you are scared of
ignore it? Yeah.
No. Mentally, I'm not saying that he's scared of, but like mentally, you're kind of like, oh man, maybe what if he knew? He's like, this guy's a psychopath.
Well, a lot of coaches do have to work with crazy people, and then they just have to look at because all they want to do is win.
Ghost has a good question in the chat.
What?
Was Jay Gruden scared of Drunk at the Bear?
No.
Get out of here.
He called me the F word for gays multiple times because I accidentally wore my chain to practice.
Do we need to jump to nerd?
Sorry,
just in case we can.
So what are you guys watching right now? I'm watching The Boys and I'm watching House of the Dragon. And Acolyte.
We just started. We watched the first 2 episodes of House of the Dragon last night because me and Crystal were waiting because we rewatched Game of Thrones and the original House of Dragon.
These are hypersexual, pale, blonde people with dragons. Right? That's what the show's about.
Pretty much.
I will tell you, for a parent. First 2 episodes are rough. I mean, I was just like, God damn. I'm like, I sat down to watch a show, get my mind off.
Get your ice cold.
The end of the first episode of the season.
Get an ice cold green apple White Claw. Sit down and watch some good old.
I think I gotta watch something nice. I watched Young Sheldon just to cleanse my palate after the first episode.
You do. It is, and I will say that it does have it seems more dark than Game of Thrones.
It is grittier. It's because that was old.
It's a prequel, and the thing is,
no. What I mean is, it's because we thirst for more. Like they give us the violence, and we're like, give us more. But they're putting boners in movies now, dude.
But Game of Thrones,
name that. When has that ever been a thing?
Have you watched The Boys yet?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's too far. Like there was one scene, and I know Eric Kripke, who's the showrunner of it. He was also the showrunner for Supernatural. He likes to bring in guys from Supernatural and then make them do messed up things. Like they had Jensen last year, and he was Soldier Boy. This year they had the guy that played God in Supernatural, and he's this guy called Split. Splitter, and he was Multiple Man, and he basically does Human Centipede to himself as Multiple Man. And
I was talking about that this morning.
Why would you do that?
It's too far. And he gets pink eye.
Oh, come on. So that's The Boys.
The Boys is too far. That's another thing I have to cleanse my palate after watching.
They'll put that show out there, and Invincible too. But The Boys, namely, like even more over the top.
It's way over the top.
And then people will write like, "This is the best. This is the best shows we have." Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying they're not. But I don't believe that you have to go that far to have
far. And
really well written program.
That one scene is he said he put it in there just like the South Park thing. I went too far to see so they could pull it back and say, hey, we're pulling back from that. And he's like, it went through. And he was like, I was surprised it went through.
I guess, anything goes.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's like, okay, go for it.
Yeah. And as long as society can handle it, and honestly, it's almost better if people are like too far because people are curious and they want to, even though us saying it's too far, everybody's going to probably be attracted to that.
I think the stories are good, right? I mean, the comic, it's rooted from the comic, and they've been doing a great job.
They made some like variations from the comic, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
no more Black Noir being just a duplicate of Homelander. So they already fixed that. That's not going to be in the show, which I kind of like.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, have you seen the show Gunsmoke?
Yeah.
Or not Gunsmoke.
My dad used to love Gunsmoke.
Are you trying to make an argument?
Was it Clint Eastwood?
Okay, hold on, guys. Have you seen Bonanza? Where are you at with Murder, She Wrote?
You like Rawhide?
Do you know Angela Lansbury's Murder, She Wrote?
I prefer Columbo more than Angela Lansbury.
God damn it! I mean Gunpowder. It's a HBO show called Gunpowder.
Is it a Western?
No, is it good?
Me and Crystal we finished the second episode of House of Dragons, and then Crystal's like Jon Snow. I forgot the actor's name, but Jon Snow from
Kit
Harington. Yeah, because he's going to be in.
He's in this show. It's a 3-part miniseries or whatever called.
Isn't he a werewolf or something like that?
No, this guy.
Oh, that's another one he's in.
It's called Gunpowder, and originally I thought it was like, oh, it's a Western, but then it was like set in 1608, and then I looked at it.
Is it in Asia? Yeah. I mean, Gunpowder would have come from there, I guess.
It's in England. And,
interesting.
It's the Gunpowder plot, like is in like November 5th?
I have no idea, but it's set in England, and it's about like.
Is it Guy Fawkes? Is he playing Guy Fawkes in the show?
There's a king involved. It's kind of Game of Thrones.
That's pretty good.
And I imagine it'd be because around the same time it was the invention of gunpowder in China, and then somehow
it's a famous thing in England. The gunpowder plot is Guy Fawkes Day, November 5th. That's why they set off fireworks November 5th in England, because he tried to blow up Parliament with a bunch of gunpowder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is a thing
that's a very
based
famous
on
thing. Yeah, I didn't see it, but that's the story behind it. Yeah.
Okay, so that must be it.
Yeah. You never saw V for Vendetta? That's basically was based off that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I just saw those masks everywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, those are cool.
Yeah. The anonymous
cool
ones.
Mustache, Shakespeare.
I only know American history. I don't know Flim Flam.
The only British guy I like is John Oliver. And he's living in America now.
Guy Fawkes. What?
My history starts when we beat the British.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that shirt. The British had a 13 colony lead and they lost. I love that picture.
What else you got?
I went and saw the new DreamWorks thing at Universal. That what was your the guy that comes in here and talks about the theme park?
Joey? That is so disrespectful.
Yeah.
I know. I just wanted to give him a hard time.
Joey, you hear that?
Joey, yeah.
You will be boxing EJ at our next event.
Hot Tub and Mini Fridge. A Palooza.
But it's pretty good. I was good that he told us about the Budweiser frogs. My wife loved that. She got a big kick out of doing Budweiser on.
Oh, so it did work. The Budweiser frogs thing worked.
And I think a comedian that you had come in here that does some stuff with Universal was the voice of Donkey when we were there. I don't want to give away his thing, so.
Oh, who is it?
Jay Farrow?
No. Dwayne.
Dwayne?
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
He works at Universal, and he also works at. He's always in the commercials for Universal.
I have no idea.
Dwayne, never mind. Dwayne, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm blowing up his spot.
Old Dwayne.
Yeah, my best friend Dwayne. Sure.
Yeah. Will you say his name?
How many
let's be serious. How many Dwaynes do you know?
I don't know what it is.
I don't think I know what he
was. What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know any Dwaynes. Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Okay, moving on.
Moving on. But they had like Kung Fu Panda Land, Trolls Land. We went on the Trolls roller coaster, which is the same as the Woody
Kung
Woodpecker.
Fu Pancake Land.
Kung Fu Panda Land. It's where the Curious George used to be, but now it's like noodles and stuff like that.
Dwayne's waiting outside with a cake.
I hope he's your next guest. Oh, please let me.
I hope I get a text immediately following this. Is like, why do you say you don't know me?
Yeah, you guys are.
I'm Dwayne MFer.
And then it doesn't even say a name; it's just a number. I'm like, well, I have
phone,
to pretend I know him now.
I have a monthly segment. We called "What's Going On with Dwayne."
It's not Vince Taylor. All right, come on.
Oh my God, it's got Dwayne on the plane.
All right. So what else is in that land?
Like Trolls. Shrek.
Is there a ride?
Yeah, the ride is the roller coaster from. It's the Woody Wood roller coaster, but they made it Trolls.
Okay, what is it? The same one?
It's the same coaster.
They just put a troll.
No.
Yes,
You gotta go and do
They
this.
just put a troll suit on Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you look really close, you can see his beak poking through their hair.
They just repainted all the fences to Trolls colors.
I can see Woody Woodpecker's beak poking through Poppy's nose.
And it's really drunk driving, kind of like because Justin Timberlake is a branch and that stuff.
Oh. You know what's great about the movie Trolls, and I remember this, but like Andrea says, I remember it wrong. But I think in the original movie Trolls, the dad is a huge pussy.
Yeah,
because he's the one that's like, no troll left behind. And then when the
ass goes down,
yeah, and he's like, I'm out of here, F you trolls. And then all the other trolls are like, what happened to troll? No troll left behind. And he's like, I'm a pussy. I think that's the whole movie.
And by the way, doesn't Justin Timberlake know about eye drops when you're driving drunk?
Oh, dude, he wanted to look sad. Have you seen the guy online that did a painting of Justin Timberlake and then he drilled a hole through it? And now, when you look at the painting, you squeeze a button and one tear comes down the painting.
No, hold on, but when you're in your DUI mugshot and you got bloodshot eyes, they're like, yeah, he's drunk.
No, you've been crying. You've been crying because
you look like you're upset.
Well, you don't have any emotion. You don't know about crying.
Or you're crying because you're drunk. You have to be sober and be like, how dare you? There's a huge misunderstanding.
I'm a true blood American. What's going on here?
Yeah, I know my rights. Anyway.
Sovereign citizen.
What else do we got?
So, next month I'm going to New York to go to GoFest, and I brought us some props. I got a new hat.
Hold on. You can't call it GoFest.
It's Pokemon Go Fest.
You have to call it Pokemon Go Fest because Go Fest sounds like an exercise convention. And Pokemon Go Fest is the opposite.
And I have to wear the Tom and Dan hat underneath because it won't fit.
Okay. What do you got here?
God. And I got a hat.
Oh, hey. Look at that.
And dude, the fans are awesome.
It's the only fans you'll ever have.
And this, if you see me in New York, this is what I'm going to be wearing. And it's nice and cool.
Yeah, you'll never get more than two. That's so mean.
I wish I had a Tom and Dan one of these. It would be fantastic.
Well, you can crap in one hand and wish in the other. And
I feel,
how much was that? That looks expensive.
I think it was like $40.
Yeah, it looks expensive, man.
So
solar powered?
It's solar powered. Yeah, you could also USB charge it.
Okay.
And dude, everyone at Universal was asking about it when I was there.
Oh, yeah. Now, wait, excuse me, sir. Where'd you get your dork hat?
I embarrassed my kids for sure.
Now I feel like when you have to take that hat off because the wind is going to blow it off, then you realize it's all for nothing. But I'm saying when the wind, you have two tiny solar panel fans barely blowing a ghost breath on you, and then you got a 30-mile-an-hour New York wind in your face.
Well, if it's blowing a wind like that, I won't need to be cooled off.
What if it gets wet? What if it gets rained
It's actually waterproof.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Interesting. It'll just be splashing water in your face.
See, you are kind of like my wife in these goofy hat ideas.
She bought
she had an umbrella hat.
But she also bought ear...
Yeah.
Earphones?
Because she, too, doesn't care.
iPhones?
Or she says she doesn't care what other people think. And she's like, this is about comfort. I don't care if I look like a nerd or whatever. But then you never wear it out because in your back of your mind, you do care. because it looks
true.
just stupid and ridiculous.
I enjoy it. It keeps me cool. I wore it to Universal this weekend, and it kept me cool the whole time I was there.
Okay. Don't take any photos with it. Don't wear our hat.
Oh, well, I definitely need a shirt to like advertise in New York while I'm there.
Okay, we'll get you a shirt.
It's like those neck fans that blow out and all.
My daughter loves hers.
Does she?
Doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I never like.
Yeah, I just like being hot. If I'm sweating, I'm sweating. I just tough it out. No big deal.
All right, EJ. Are you doing the MyCon?
See, we don't know because the hotel that we usually hosted at has been resold, so we don't know how that's going to switch over.
Resold.
They supposedly they went under new management, so I'm not totally sure what they're going to do there.
You just got to start a conversation with the new management.
Probably. So, but I don't know. They might be tearing it down and rebuilding on the land that they have there.
Let's do it just on the land.
Right? Out in the sun?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Bring your hat.
Have you been to an outdoor convention? They're horrible.
Bring your hat. It'll be
It's like going to the flea market with no roof.
Let's set up in this field. Watch out for the fire ants around here. All right. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Let's get the business out of the way, buddy. Are we done with plugging things? There's got to be something we can plug.
No.
We're streaming
plugs
right now on YouTube and Twitch, and we stream every day, Monday through Friday, and you can join us. Normally, the studio kicks off around 10:30 a.m., and we stream from 10:30 a.m. to right around 3 p.m. Most of the time, we're done by then, but we'd love to have you stop by. The chat room's fun, super positive and fun environment, and we'd love to have you there.
Yep, and you could download our app, too. Just search Tom and Dan or Mediocre app on your iPhone or your Google phone, and it'll come up and it's free.
I believe that's called Android, right? The other one.
Oh, okay, Android.
You called it the Google phone. That's fine. That'll work. There is a Google phone. I think there was a couple years ago. There's a Google phone.
God damn it. Why did I even...
Get it on the Goose.
I said nothing.
I'm not saying anything bad. Where are we with the AI thing? We're done with it, right? We're done with it?
No, well, for intros,
people are losing their minds. Like,
no,
so much hate, the Reddit, so much hate.
No, just put.
So I'm going back. I'm going back to slaving in the mines. I'm going.
No, it's not
more
as good.
No,
the AI is better.
No, it's not.
It takes you too long.
No, but AI can't do what I can do. I present you now a version of my daughter's favorite song. We heard this 100 times at the Magic Mall, uncensored. This one is censored. It is the hottest song in the world right now. I give you $1 Million Slam Hog.
With the weird jaws. That's long. Working weird jaws. That's long. Working weird jaws. That's long. Working weird jaws. That's long.
I need you to bob to it. This is how the song goes. This is my daughter's favorite song.
That's long. Working weird jaws. That's long.
Here we go. Here we go.
Weird jaws.
Slam Hog.
What song is this originally?
$1 Million Baby. That's it. That's all it is. That's the whole song.
Is this popular on YouTube?
My God. You've never heard that song? Have our guests heard? Have you guys ever heard the song $1 Million Baby?
I have heard it, but the only word I can hear is $1 Million Baby.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. The only thing I know what they're saying is $1 Million Baby.
So on the line with us, we have Christina and Tammy, and they own a dispensary.
Yeah.
So guys, first off, where is your dispensary located?
We are in Central Maine in a place called Newport.
Okay, you're in Newport, Maine.
Oh, that sounds fancy.
And I'm not familiar with Maine's laws. Is it recreational or medical up there?
So it's both. Maine has actually had one of the longest medical cannabis programs in the country. It started in the early 2000s, and so it's pretty established. But because of that, since it was so early, it's very, very wild, wild west. There's there's lots of laws, but also hardly any. It's kind of strange. It's nothing like you guys have down in Florida, where you have a lot of big businesses running the cannabis space.
Yeah.
Here it's all small caregivers. We're called caregivers in the medical space.
I like that.
yeah,
I'm going to start using that.
Yeah, we should be caregivers.
Yeah, Tom and Dan caregiver. Hold on.
Write
Hold
that
on.
down.
I'm writing that down. Christina, you're a genius.
Make a logo for
And
that.
shout out to and your mom Tammy's on the line too, right?
We should be Orlando's #1 caregivers.
I wish my wife would give me some care.
Hawk to
Yes, my mom is actually the original caregiver for us, and she started back in 2017.
See what I did
I would
there?
get that wrong.
Original caregiver,
yeah, 2017.
So, Christina or Tammy, either one can answer this. Why you would think that if you guys have nearly been doing this 25 years, that things will be more established? Is it because Maine has some rule or law that big corporations can't operate in the space?
Well, originally, up until a couple of years ago, you had to be a Maine resident. So it was really closed off to a lot of the big competitors. And then also, I mean, who's going to come to Central Maine? Because we've got like 2,000 people in our town. So there's not a lot of money to be made.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's not a metropolis.
Yeah.
So, it's weird because I remember when
the chat room is saying that Maine weed is the best weed.
Okay, so let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So your mom started the dispensary. When did you guys start?
So she started what's called a home-based caregiver. So basically, you're growing and selling to individual people out of your house. So that's how she started.
She started
She actually
trapping? Isn't that what a trap house is?
My mom just turned 60, and I think she would not like to say that she lived in a trap house. But
but you get an Uber, then you trap it out the Uber.
Yeah.
That was a movie, Trap It Out the Uber.
You can say whatever you want. The truth is the truth. So she was growing it herself and harvesting, and selling it?
Yes. So we had, at the time, help from my brother and my sister. Started with my sister. The really funny thing is, if I could show you a picture of my mom, she is not someone that you'd be like, oh, that lady grows weed.
We'd never know, right? Yeah, we'd never know.
No.
That's cool, though.
So she is, she's just a very nice, proper, meek lady.
God bless her.
And she just started growing with my sister, and then it grew from there. We decided to open a storefront. My sister has since decided that she's instead going to sell cowboy hats. So,
dude, you guys are the coolest mother effers in the town. You guys are the coolest people I've ever met. No,
she went from weed to cowboy hats.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. That's what you do. That's a real businesswoman.
Cowboy
Can we talk to her next week? Is that Tammy?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Tammy, real quick, I want to ask you, did you get into this just because you've always seen, the health benefits of marijuana, or have you been, a lifelong cannabis user? How did it start for you?
I had never used cannabis, and I was actually a dare mom. And
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
No, I had never been a part of the cannabis scene at all. My son used to get into a lot of trouble, and I blamed it on the weed.
Yeah,
but no, I got into it to help my daughter, and then found that I really enjoyed growing that part, and then we needed to sell it, and it just evolved from there, and I've learned a lot about the medicinal benefits.
So Tammy,
this is an amazing story. This is an amazing tale.
Well, it's crazy that you had such a negative view towards it, and you were able to.
So did my mom.
Turn it around. Do you use cannabis at all yourself, or did you ever start?
I do now. Yes.
All right.
Everybody does now. Tammy,
it's so good, right?
It's so good.
She used to be a truck driver. We used to have a trucking company. Just to add one more thing in there.
Sure, yeah.
So she couldn't use it for the longest time. Her and my dad drove together. And now my dad has just recently decided that he's in his mid-60s. He's never going to drive again. So he's finally started using cannabis to help with a lot of different things. So
trucking Tammy's off the road, and now Dad says he's going to blast his shoes off.
Did he because one of my favorite things is when an old man has never used weed before and he takes too much and he has a freak out.
Mom, tell him about the motorhome incident.
Oh no.
Yeah, we were staying in our motorhome one night, and he wakes me up. He had a little too much, and he was bouncing up and down the motorhome and freaking out about what has he done. He's gotten us into this business, and what has he done?
And he's like 6'4", like 300 pounds.
He's a big boy. Oh my God!
The whole motorhome was shaking back and forth.
What have I done?
For about an hour until he finally calmed down.
So he was freaking out. He's having a panic attack.
I'm glad he's okay.
He's like, I'm selling drugs.
Yeah.
What have I done?
So I got to bounce this RV up and down and figure something out. I got to get my family out of this mess. I got to bounce this RV up and down.
So now that we've heard your backstory, which is awesome, let's talk about the business of owning a dispensary. So, and I know it's different in every state.
Yeah.
So,
what do you guys provide as far as like product?
Well, let's start with the growing. Do you guys still grow it yourself, or do you, have someone else do that and buy it for them?
So now we've gotten to the point where, especially in this market, growing is really expensive because in Maine you have to pretty much grow indoor. So the electricity is insane.
Oh, I bet.
So a lot of people have gone either grow or retail. And we realized we were much better at the retail. So we decided to go that way. It's nice in Maine because especially in medical, there's a lot of restrictions in recreational. So we have one of both. We have a medical store and a recreational store. We also manufacture edibles for both of our stores. And the funnest part is the medical side, because you can pretty much do whatever you want. You want to make a 500 milligram brownie, whatever. There's no limits, really. So my mom she really loves to cook, so she really loves to come up with like different edibles. But we have everything. We have everything from pre-rolls, bag flour, concentrates, edibles, drinks, pipes, all sorts of stuff. We kind of are like your one-stop shop. And we're right on a tourist crossroad.
Nice.
So if you ever go to Maine and like go to the vacation area of Maine, like northern Maine, you'll drive right by us. So we've got a lot of people who come in and like that we have everything they need to go on vacation.
I mean, I do want to go to Maine, so I will jot all this down because it sounds lovely, and you guys sound lovely. It sounds like an awesome little shop.
So you guys don't have any specifications when it comes to medical and the amount? You could do unlimited milligrams? That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, which is weird. So one of the things...
Yeah, so one of the things, there is a limit, but it's very high. So we can sell to a patient 2.5 ounces per transaction. And if in milligrams, that's a lot of edibles.
Yeah.
So, how many milligrams is that?
Could you estimate it for...
Is that 5,000 milligrams?
You're going to make me do math.
I'm not, Tammy, I promise. I'm too respectful of you.
When you said 500 milligram brownie, I was like, you'll be camper bouncing for sure on that one.
We do have 1,000 milligram candy bar.
Oh, wow.
What?
It was anybody that can do that. Like, I take...
You don't want to do the 1,000 candy bar challenge? You want to do the challenge?
I took a 50 milligram that I got.
That's when you texted me.
and then I woke my wife up in the middle of the night. I pulled you what your husband did. I was like, I have to pace back and forth.
You texted me, help.
And, I had to walk it out. So I got a low tolerance.
Me too. But one great thing about Maine's medical program is we have reciprocity with every other state. So if you have a medical card in another state and you come here on vacation, we can sell you 2.5 ounces.
Oh, wow.
Man, I'm a fan. Hell yeah, man.
So, okay, now
that's awesome.
Let's get down to the business of the actual, buying it and reselling it, okay? Because I've looked at this before. Obviously, we've got medical here in Florida and a bunch of different corporations that are, True Leaf, Certera, some of the big ones, Move, Vitacan. There's probably 10 good-sized companies that are selling, THC now, and they're all doing deals and stuff. And sometimes, I'm looking at these deals that they offer, and I'm like, the packaging for the product seems like it's worth more than the actual product. The individual, and I'm like, the company probably spends more money on the packaging than it does on the THC. And then I'm like, well, I wonder how much the THC is. So maybe you could shed some light on that. I don't want to get too far into business, but what's the markup on THC? Or is it all over the place?
It's pretty much all over the place, and it depends on which market. So on the medical side, you have a lot of small craft growers where they don't produce huge quantities. So their prices can be a little higher, but you're also getting really good flower from them.
Is it
because, like I said, they're craft growers.
Is it like legacy craft style? Like this is ultra rare marijuana and it's priced that way, like you would a luxury good almost? Like does it? Like if it comes from a specific brand and it's a legendary type, is it like it's always going to be like that because it's known to be super powerful or potent?
No, it's more on how they grow. So the small caregivers, we grow for the medical community, so we don't put any pesticides, nothing extra. We don't plump those plants up with chemicals, things like that. And you're getting a much better quality product than you would from these huge grows that they do volume.
Gotcha.
And they want to pump it out as fast as they can. We're a craft grower, wait for that plant to be ready before they harvest.
So it's just like a vegetable, whether you're buying super organic, small batch vegetables that are maybe grown in a different way that giant farms would.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense. And then I also wondered, for you guys, because I start looking at, the edible side of things, because I tell Daniel this all the time, for me, I'm like, just give me the THC. I don't necessarily need it in a chocolate or some sort of candy.
I really do prefer a capsule to a gummy bear because I just don't need the whimsicalness of the bear.
Yeah. And then I'm looking at the business. I'm like, well, it must be a pain in the ass. I bet they think that it's a lot easier to sell it in a capsule than it is to make some sort of mint chocolate chip candy around it. Because now you're adding a whole different process of making little candies or gels or whatever it is. So how does that work? Or is that part of the marketing?
It is part of the marketing. We have a lot of people who get excited when they see we have new things. Like we just came out with the chocolate-covered marshmallows, which, people came in, they're like, oh, I got to get some. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I got to get some of stuff like that. People get excited to see the new stuff. We do our gummies on the medical side in a candy store style. So we'll do, 10, 12 different flavors, and you can come and you'll say, I want 2 of those, I want 3 of those. You can make your own, mixed bag of candy.
Willy Wonka?
Like an old store? Like you do it like the old candy shop at Disney World where,
yes.
I'll give you 2 green apple and a cherry and a peppermint. Oh, my God, this is awesome.
Yeah, and you can do things like that when you're literally me and my mom are the ones who are running it
But that's
we're
cool.
the ones deciding what gets made.
I would be more apt to go to small mom and pop weed shop. I'm telling you right now, if we had those around here, if you guys were around here and I could pop in and say hi to you, because I love to chirp, and they sound chirpy.
Yeah. I get what you guys are doing.
You guys sound chirpy, and I walk in there, I'm like, what are you doing? You're like, we got the chocolate covered marshmallow. I'm like,
all your weed candies are set up like old school candy shop.
Can you say the name of your shop because it plays in?
Grams 5 and Dime.
Grams 5. I love it.
And then Tammy's back there wearing an apron. It's I'm just Tammy back here cooking some cookies for you guys.
God bless her. I just want to smooch her face.
But meanwhile, you're a hardcore businbusinesswoman, and you got an AK back there or some sort of AR.
You definitely will blow somebody's kneecaps off with a shotgun.
And that you got an awesome business model, because I can imagine going up to Maine and you're like a tourist from a different town. You go into
oh my god, I get a 500-gram brownie. Get back to the hotel room. I load up some People's Court.
Then you buy a custom cowboy hat right next door.
Hey guys, I got so high, I bought 3 custom cowboy hats.
So what's right now like the most popular product that you see currently? Is it the edibles or is it still the flower?
We go back and forth between pre-rolls. They're really popular for us because of our location. People are going out on the boat or people are going up to camp and they want, something that's easily accessible. So pre-rolls are our biggest seller, but followed closely by the gummies. We don't make as much on the gummies because they're like one of our lower cost items. So we do sell a ton of them volume-wise. It's just not one of our bigger income-wise ones, but we sell a lot of them.
Okay. And now I guess our final question is usually when we do these weird job interviews, I ask the person how much they make. But instead of getting too much into your business of how much revenue you make, can you give us an example of maybe a type of company that's similar to yours that you've seen that would make similar revenue as a small mom and pop business?
Oh, there's not many mom and pop businesses that make as much as cannabis businesses.
I knew it.
Yes, that's the way you say it.
Take that, Play It Again Sports. You should have been selling weed.
Take your stupid hockey sticks and flush it down the toilet.
I do look at it like this is the best business because people
Listen how
love
happy
it.
they sound.
Yeah, and your customers are always happy. Like you probably rarely deal with some curmudgeon customer who's yelling at you or whatever.
Do you guys deal with any jerks?
Oh, not really. I would say 99.9% of people who come in, they're excited, they're happy.
Sure.
They are getting stuff that's either going to make them, feel better if they're, in pain or not sleeping, or it's going to make them just feel happy. So rarely. The times that we do get upset people, sometimes it's more like if a product isn't up to their standard. And we always try to make that right. If somebody comes in and their cart got their cartridge clogged and they only had a couple pulls off of it, we'll replace it because stuff like that happens.
Probably left it in your pocket like an animal.
Yeah. Don't carry your vape pen in your pocket or in your purse.
Yeah, why are you doing that, people? You're not supposed to do that. Good Lord.
It's a testament to if you're going to get into a business where your customers aren't either miserable or stressed out.
The exact opposite. We know the exact opposite of your business. You ready? Mom and pop moving company. There you go. There's the opposite. There's the exact opposite. Mom and pop movers. Mom's 5 and dime. Oh, we'll break all your stuff and you'll complain.
Yeah, all your customers are mad, every single stressed out. Anyway, well, Tammy, Christina, thanks so much for taking the time.
Awesome. And plug your business again if we got anybody that wants to stop by and give us a review and a shout out.
Yeah, we're Grams 5 and Dime. We're located in Newport, Maine, so right off of I-95 when you're heading up to the vacation areas. Our website is grams5.com. We have online ordering, so if you're on your way to camp, you can just put an order in.
Come on, man.
And I also wanted to give anybody who happens to listen to this and hear this, if you mention that you're a scumbag, then we'll give you 15% off.
Whoa! Get that a $500 brownie.
Talk to your sister about 15% off the cowboy hat.
We're going through a cowboy. I don't know if you guys know this, but country's the new rap. And with Post Malone releasing his T1 Trillion or F1 Trillion album, we're definitely T1 Trillion. This is how dumb I am. F1 Trillion. We need cowboy hats now. So guys, just keep us in mind for free hats. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks for doing it. Bye-bye. You're so sweet.
Man, that weed business.
Oh, man.
Although here,
I'm very happy.
Here in Florida, it's impossible to.
It's different here.
For it to be. I don't even know.
Let's just move. You and I, we pack this thing up. We move it to Maine.
Yeah.
We start a small
craft.
We ask them to kind of guide us. And we start something similar in a different area, and we just ride it out.
Here's the thing. I have a feeling, though, like Graham's Five and Dime, it sounds very like they are hardcore business people.
You can tell. They're hustlers.
Yeah. And then
Tammy did not sound like no fool.
If we started, let's say, down the street in their territory.
Oh, they'll put us out. They'll burn our shop down.
Well, they'll throw the brick through the window, and Graham will be like, I'm coming for you.
Next thing you know, I see, was that a Graham's van drive by? Molotov cocktail comes in. Oh, my God, the whole studio's on fire.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
If you haven't checked out that Guinness exhibit, the Orlando Science Center Guinness Book of World Records exhibit that they have.
It's the science of Guinness.
My mom took the boys and Becca, my niece, yesterday, and they loved it. It was the first time they saw the life exhibit.
Well, it's humongous. It's such a big exhibit that you can't even fit the entire exhibit within the hall they have. They had to take like a couple of the actual items like science experiments and put them in the lobby.
Yeah.
It's huge. But go check it out. It's the Science of Guinness Book of World Records.
And did you know if you're a senior citizen, you get their senior citizen discounts, $3 tickets.
Oh, wow.
That my mom... I
bet you got
she's like, I got $3 tickets.
She's like, hell yeah.
And I'm like, $3 for that science center? They were there all day. Anyway.
I mean, honestly, it's $3 for the air conditioner. Walk around, cool off a little bit, right? It's $3.
So every year when this couple's in town.
Yes. They're two of my favorite people.
They always swing by to tell us about their adventures.
The travels.
What they've been up to.
They're the troubadours.
And
trekking their way through the world, bringing melodies and songs where they go.
Yeah. Joseph and Jesse Martin are here. How are you guys doing?
Before you introduced us, I was like, who's this couple you're talking about?
I'm excited.
I want to meet these people.
Wow.
It's you guys.
So, on paper...
You're like one of my favorite broadcasters, dude.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, I listen to you all the time.
Of course, Joseph from Sunday Morning coming down for... how long has that show been
75 years.
It's got to be one of the longest running shows in Central Florida, right?
I get asked this question a lot, and I don't know exactly the answer other than... It's got to be, pushing 16 years. But there was a period where I was exiled.
Yes.
Yeah.
From Real Radio. I think they fired all the DJs.
Yeah. They do that often.
Yeah, that's a thing. There seems to be a pattern of behavior.
How many are there that are fired? I've never seen you hire, only fire.
Don't they go extinct at some point?
Yeah.
It's, what do they call that in the Hunger Games when they, it's a cleansing of sorts?
Yeah. There should only be one left now.
The reaping or something. Anyway,
the chosen one.
They got rid of everybody and they went to classic rock. And then
hot-blooded
that's
chicken
right.
shit.
More than a feeling and all that.
That was a dark time. That was a dark time.
They were going for the
that classic rock money.
I gotta get.
How does that even work?
Low hanging fruit.
You see all those landscapers out there? We're gonna get all their coin.
By the way, if you don't understand the business of radio, they don't understand it either. I'm guaranteeing you. Because I've asked internally what's going on here. No one knows. Anyways.
Yeah. But I don't. I think it was back in 2017 that they let me go, and then there was a period of time there where I just kind of, Jesse and I started planning our first trip to Alaska.
Yeah.
We were going to rent the house out, downsize, sell or give everything away that we didn't absolutely need, and then hit the trek with our dog and see the world, well, as far as we could with a motorhome.
Yeah.
And then Jack Bradshaw calls me out of the clear blue sky and says, hey, I've been silently petitioning to get you back on the air. And I'm like, well, that's great news.
Like Littlefinger in Game of Thrones, right? I feel like he's working in the shadows.
Right.
We must get this classic country rock back on real radio.
Exactly.
I need it. We definitely need it. Slip me a note.
So I
send you a raven.
I was so excited to get the offer, but I had to turn it down because I didn't conceive the notion of being able to do it on the road until I called him back and said, is there a way we could do this satellite? You know, and
yeah.
I said, well, in theory, as long as you have Wi-Fi, which is a tall order, thinking going back 11 years ago, traveling through Canada, you know,
it's nuts.
It was crazy. There were a lot of times when our only connection to the civilized world was through a McDonald's playground with Wi-Fi.
That's insane. So you're doing Sunday morning coming down at a McDonald's?
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah.
Sunday McGriddle coming down.
Yeah.
Then it was 4:35 in the morning, so we had to find like.
I had an entire one of those indoor playgrounds to myself. And I was like, well, this is a great atmosphere. Yeah. And this McDonald's had its own fireplace. Can you believe that?
Oh, yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing.
It was cold up there.
Yeah. Some of the new Wendy's, even the ones in Florida, have fireplaces.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the new
it's
remodel.
The wall fireplace.
Yeah, they remodeled it and they put a fireplace in there. Stupid.
Joseph, did you consider just pre-recording it?
No.
Yeah, like, I don't know, does it have to be live?
So
like, I mean, you know, this show is pre-recorded.
Don't tell people that.
And no one seems to care.
This show is not pre-recorded, and we never use AI. 100% AI free. That's the rule.
You just record it whenever you want, and just they air it later. No one knows.
And think in the future, all DJs will be remote using a tiny box in their homes.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's a great question, and I did pre-record it just a very small handful of times over the years. But it was really a pain in the ass to get all and to make it sound natural. And also because a part of the show is listener requested. I found it was just easier for me to plan far enough in advance so I knew I was going to be at a safe Wi-Fi place. Or even if I have to pay top dollar to stay at a hotel room that night, I know I've got, you know, hotel Wi-Fi for what it's worth. And that, for the most part, has been, it's done well.
There were plenty of times we had our big, crappy old motorhome, like, pulled up as close to a motel as we could get, you know, like we want 2-3 spots.
They start creeping, you know, they send the cops to
He'd go
ask
in
you
there
what
and
are you guys doing?
Try to steal off the Wi-Fi.
Would they go and because this is where are we talking here? Like, is somewhere in between Florida and Alaska, or is this in Alaska?
A lot of Canada was the problem because it was just so.
Isn't
rural.
Canada always the problem?
Yeah, your grandpa hated Canada.
So if you're looking for Wi-Fi, just don't go there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people were nice to him. He'd wander in there in the morning and just be like, I'm doing a radio show. They look at him like he was crazy, you know?
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, they would just kind of give him the password.
Well, you're that way about you. You're a kind person. You're a good human. So I feel
if you just tell them the God's honest truth, and then you can tell that part of the brain that kind of turns off. They're like, it no longer matters what it is you're asking. They just believe you're not going to burn the place down.
Right. You're harmless.
And they're like, okay, well, whatever you want, go ahead, just set up over there. I'm like, no, I'm not going to set up inside. I'm going to be outside.
Sure. In
my motorhome. I got a generator. I can turn it on, and Wi-Fi signal is fine. And then you go to the races and hope for the best. But occasionally it would drop out completely. And that's where Josh Pinkman he's been there since it wasn't long after Dan Stone, you know, orchestrated getting us on the air and playing as producer, co-host of Sunday Morning Coming Down. And then he got very busy with other things.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want you to ask you these questions. Tom and I, we we're the hard-hitting reporters. I had heard that you and Dan had a pretty tumultuous breakup and that he was a vile and disgusting human.
Always.
And so mean to you. And
that does make for a better story.
It broke you to a part. No, we love Dan, but yeah, it's funny. I'd forgotten about that. You're right. Josh is such a huge part of your show that I forget that in the very beginning there was a Dan Stone there, which we love that guy, man.
It's like prehistoric.
Yeah, well,
very beginning.
It's hard to remember that the show has been going for that long.
Joseph, it's cool that you keep doing it because like a lot of people don't like this is because for all intents and purposes like the reason you do it is there's a passion involved in it because it ain't listen, we've worked in radio for a long time. It ain't the money.
We're not doing it for the money.
You're not doing it then you're rich. So like when you hear Joseph's talking about this, like he could easily have said, "This is not worth a pain in the ass. It's not worth me parking my motorhome at McDonald's or these hotels."
Unless you really enjoy that.
Yeah, and doing it live every Sunday, people take it for granted because the fact that it is still a show and on Sunday, because my wife, I remember 15 years ago, my wife, it was her favorite show. Still, she gets excited when she catches Sunday morning coming down. She likes old country and like,
I do too,
and so the fact that you still do it is a gift to all of us. Seriously, you know, because
the themed out shows are my favorite.
You could easily
I like coming in late and then trying to figure out which songs I already missed. You know what I mean? Like, today it's like we're looking at ladies of whatever, and then I'm like, I know I missed 3 songs already. Yeah. It's great, man. It's like
you're honestly doing it for the people.
Well,
you know?
I don't mean to speak for him on this, but it's so cool when we do come back to Orlando because sometimes when you are out there and wherever we are and it's 5:30, 6 in the morning, it's like you're talking to nobody, and he's like, what am I doing? Just sitting on this computer in the dark. And then when we get back and he does an event and all these people show up and they're like, we listen every single Sunday. It's a really awesome reminder from all the people back here that support the show. You know?
Because, Joseph, you know what's weird, and this is an interesting psychology.
Her name's Jessie.
No, I'm talking to John.
He doesn't like talking to women.
I can see that.
He's a bit of a traditionalist.
It's like, I hear some ghosts. I'm sitting here talking to
as soon as you said, I don't mean to speak for him.
I know.
He was kicking me under the table.
I didn't want to step out of place. I know.
Yeah.
No,
get back in the kitchen.
Because like nowadays, everybody's so used to like even right now on Twitch. Like we're on Twitch and there's a chat room and there's people interacting with us right now in the chat room, right?
Yeah,
So it's like there's real people interacting live. And when you're doing terrestrial radio from your car in the dark in Canada, right? With,
McDonald's,
like,
no less.
Yeah. 3 hours earlier than
very difficult.
You know, and then you're doing. There is no feedback whatsoever. You're just you're talking. You're like, hopefully, so, and then you get your feedback.
You may not even
6
get any
months
feedback
later
from your loving wife because she's asleep or something, right?
I am most of the time asleep at that hour.
Yeah, so you truly are alone. Maybe the dog, you know, I don't know.
So imagine how weird that is. You're like, you hope people are listening, but meanwhile, there are a lot of people in Central Florida listening to this broadcast because they always have, but you don't even get the feedback for months later until someone's like, hey, listen to
It's like mailing a letter.
It's weird. Yeah,
right?
It's old.
It's like you're mailing a letter and then you get home and then you get all the letters back. You know, like
and you're
Santa
like, they got them.
Oh,
you know, it's weird.
Or like a message in the bottle from a
from
a island somewhere out in the Pacific. Well, now that you put it that way, I do wonder why the hell I've been doing it for so long.
I want to quit, Ryan. Quit.
Oh my God!
Tell Jack. Tom told me to quit.
Jack, my phone starts blowing up. Well, I don't take it. Jack texts me. He's like, "What did Tom say?"
There is the super fancy 104.1 texting service that you are able to check in on.
Oh, that's cool.
77031.
Okay, so there is some interaction.
Hotline.
Which is usually just a bunch of crazy.
Are there any songs? Are there any songs you can't find? Are there do people hit you up and you're like, I can't find that? Or
well, so the simple answer to that is that the reason why we had to stop taking requests by phone is because people would call in and say, "Hey man, you know that song by that guy? He was in that movie. He was married to the girl with the big hoo-haws, and she was on that. It was about a radio station or something." It's like, oh, that's Burt Reynolds. Lori Anderson, and that's
Lonnie, yeah.
Lonnie, thank
Lonnie
you.
Anderson, yeah.
And close enough.
I know my big
and that's Smoking the Bandit, Eastbound and Down. Like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
But that conversation that I just condensed into 15 seconds would take about 10 minutes, and meanwhile you're like an octopus trying to
get the information,
juggle all these other things. So the texting is a lifesaver because they can send us the information pretty concisely, and if not, anybody can Google a lyric and find the name of the song. And like you mentioned, the themes kind of help keep it into some sort of a parlay of consistency. It's a fun game.
Yeah, it is fun.
To see if we can all find the songs that will fit within this particular limitation, because it's just, there's so many songs to choose from in great country music. And luckily for Sunday Morning Coming Down, a lot of it's being overlooked by mainstream terrestrial radio because they're really focused on the top 40 stuff that's hot today. And whereas a lot of us, I think it's fair to say, we're kind of nostalgic. We have a sentimental attachment to the songs when we first experienced getting a buzz or
I thought you were going to go somewhere else there. But that's just because I'm a filthy pervert.
Getting laid.
Yeah.
And all of our firsts are associated with this music that we grew up on, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, there's a strong connection to country music, which celebrates all that. And I think that's part of the popularity of Sunday Morning Coming Down. And for me, I get a real kick out of getting to do it from wherever we are, in the motorhome or wherever we happen to have flown into, getting to do it from China for 4
crazy.
Sundays in a row, and knowing that they were monitoring me and just now and then just pulling the plug to make sure that I knew that they were in control, that this was not something completely that I could just do it without any consideration of possibility of censorship.
Sure.
Getting to do it in Switzerland and Mexico, the list goes on and on.
Where's next? Where do you continue with not only the show, but let's talk about your music and you guys playing and Juno Smile and
we've been
all of
doing.
that.
We just got back from 3.5 months of doing a cruise with Carnival Vista. And that was kind of like a military boarding school meets high school band summer camp in the Caribbean islands.
Okay, all right. How did that work? Like, what was the schedule when you do a cruise like that? And like,
I've always wondered
what's the living like? And
I've always wondered how tight it is in there.
Well, we had some good training.
How tight it is.
You know what I mean? Like you're both sleeping in like 2 beds in a room.
Yeah, they pack them. They pack the
them in their
employees.
height, man.
We were in bunk beds.
Yeah.
The first half I was in the bottom bunk, and then the second half I thought, man, I'll never live it down if my wife falls out of the top bunk.
Oh God, that would be terrible.
I got to take the top bunk, but kept on rearranging where the ladder was placed. So when you're getting out in the middle of the night and feeling around for the ladder, like trying to.
Yeah, well, you're at least tall. I gotta have that thing.
It's only about 5 feet, but in the middle of the night, like taking that kind of fall would really
hurt.
Be. Yeah, but our schedule is 6 days a week. We play between 3 and 4 hour window.
That was a lot.
We'd
the
only real complaint though is that when we did have time off, they kept us busy with other stuff, and 99.9% of that other stuff had nothing to do with music.
Oh, are they making you swap the deck? Do you have to do other jobs?
No, but teaching us how to.
Yeah.
In theory, if there was an emergency and other people were busy that
like
were supposed to swap the
they're
deck.
going through like drills because technically you guys are employees of the ship.
Dude,
so like,
drill.
Where are the singer-songwriters?
Keep them here.
Like you want us to be escorting people onto the lifeboats. Like, seriously,
everybody's dead.
You want us to be the ones going, come on, Grandma, get on.
We learned how to do it.
So they were kind of running you through the drills because
everybody has to do it when you're on the water.
It's maritime law, which is code for don't ask questions. You're doing it.
Okay.
I think I saw pictures of you, like you guys saying, like last day of mustard drill.
Mustard.
Is that right? And you guys,
mustard. Yeah,
you guys were doing the last day of that. What does that entail? Like, what do you guys have to do? Did you have to hold the sign and people have to walk up to you and you're wearing a bright yellow
Yes, yes.
You wore the bright yellow hat?
No, I didn't wear the hat, but I was told to wear
You don't
the
know
hat.
where these hats have been.
Around the world.
I mean, I took it for a photo, and it was off my head in a second.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, I got yelled at because I went and I got a mic stand from my stage, and I put it next to me and put the hat on the mic stand.
Yeah, keep the lights on the mic stand.
And they were like, that lasted for like 2 hours, and they were like, that's a hazard. I'm like, well, I'm not wearing the hat, so it can be on the mic stand or it can be somewhere else. So it was
Could
a
you
lot
get in
of that.
trouble and go to the captain if they're like, you put on that GD hat?
Well, we did have the lifeguard people on the boat at one time, and that week they were really, really strict about it. But the remainder of the time, if you didn't wear the hat, nobody really...
Okay. Yeah,
Nobody
it's just
really-
like when the boss is
Not
around.
the lifeguard, the Coast Guard.
The Coast Guard.
Coast Guard, lifeguard. Hey, they say-
Lifeguard. You're too far out.
More sunscreen. That's right, Coast Guard.
Did you
See how
guys-
good I am at this?
Would you guys get off the boat or
Oh, yeah.
and then like
Yeah, but that's what was frustrating is the two main reasons that we did this, if I may speak for both. One was you could make money and save it because all of your costs, in theory, are taken care of.
Yeah,
that's
food,
one,
board,
right?
everything.
Gas.
But the other one, which to me was equally important, if not more so, was getting schlepped to these different ports and getting off the boat and getting to explore and have the adventures like what Jesse and I have been doing over the years, going back and forth to Alaska and other parts of the world.
Yeah.
But when you're tied up doing these non-music duties, you're standing there during a drill with these giant, they look like minion, bright orange life preservers.
We sold those.
They come
Tom
right
thought
up
our
to your
listeners will
neck.
order
You
them.
can't really
Were they
move.
too super tiny,
So-
too, from China?
Tiny
like
life
thousands of minions standing there on the deck. It's a beautiful day, and there, just out of reach, is land.
Oh, you see it.
And you're stuck there waiting for somebody to give you the clear that you can go. At this point, now it's too late to do anything to get off the boat and go enjoy one of the main reasons
and they
why
do that
you're doing this
deliberately, I
cruise.
feel like, right?
Yeah,
I feel like they do
They're
that
like,
deliberately.
make them stand there and look at where they want to go.
Yeah, it's like when I was grounded, and then my dad, like right at like 7:15, he'd be like, "You can go ride your bike around one loop." You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah,
Just to
and
get a
I'd take
taste.
it. I would take it.
You have to.
Yeah, because it's all I had.
Sanity.
So would you do it again?
Yes.
Oh my God! I put the camera on him too. I should have left it on both of you guys.
Oh, that couldn't have
My
been
God,
better.
That was so good.
So we can tell who liked it and who hated it.
No, I think that if the circumstances, now that we
Yes.
know like what to specifically
Under the right
ask
circumstances.
about,
Is the money good?
yeah, it is. And you know what's better is we spend hundreds of dollars at restaurants and at gas stations
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we're in town. If you don't have that, it's incredible how that just goes away.
And the food was pretty good.
So yeah, the food is. I mean, so you could do that all, and then they did have a
The
really
crew
cheap
food was
car.
really good.
Yeah, because you're
Every
essentially
night
eating
I
the
get
same.
a triple Guy Fieri burger.
Every
night,
day.
5 patty. Every night, 5 patty Guy Fieri.
You're eating the same food as the guests.
Oh yeah,
essentially,
we have full.
But we had
grain,
choice of the crew food as well.
which was awesome.
And most of the crew is from parts of like Southeast Asia. There's over 70 nationalities represented within about 1,400 people working on the ship. And so there's most of those nationalities are Southeast Asian. So there's a lot of curries, which we love.
Yeah.
A lot of
Okay.
spicy foods. We love that.
So they're cooking their own food essentially for the crew.
Well, there's a majority of the chefs and the people working under those chefs are from these countries. So they're literally using their grandmother's recipes, which in a lot of cases we were like,
God, I wouldn't
"Man,
bring
this is
those on that boat. I'm sorry. I'd say the dumbest thing.
But yeah,
all
the
those
food
people
was,
too weren't as free roaming as we were. We are
That's
allowed to
true.
go to the dining room upstairs. We
Yeah.
are allowed to go to Guy Fieri.
The entertainers.
We were pretty special.
A lot of those people can't even go off of
If you
their
have up
decks.
one of those gray zip-up suits, you got to stay in
Yeah,
there.
you gotta stay.
You're by the boiler room.
I remember
True.
I never felt more. I felt terrible. And I talked about this on the show. Andrew and I took an 8-day cruise for we never had a honeymoon, so we took this 8-day cruise and we'd saved our money to do this thing. We had a really good deal, and we got the best cabin on the back of the boat.
Oh, sweet.
Right?
Yeah.
They were back there and it had a whole deck and everything. You remember this? And it was amazing. The
Yeah.
only bad part is one little door. If it swung open, you could look over the side and I could see all the crew in their gray jumpsuits huffing cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
I know where that
literally
is.
looking up at me like, "Oh, I'll kill you if I get free. I'm gonna tear you limb from limb."
Yeah.
And it made me feel bad, you know, like it kind of was like, "Oh, put a wall up here."
It is, and there are a lot.
I didn't say
of
that.
people.
That's not.
Put a wall up.
That's a poor choice. That's a poor choice of words.
You do look around, and then you glance down to see if your feet are chained to the ground, just to make sure.
Yeah.
You're like, these employees' feet chained?
I'm trying to look at the dolphins. I see these guys smoking.
Is this free will here? What are they involved in? Anyway, so when you do these type of things, you said it's 3 months. So how many cruises in that 3 months? Like, how many different voyages are you on?
Well, if you do the math, which I don't know, I don't have a calculator, but it's every cruise within that 3.5 month period was either a 6 or an 8 day cruise.
Those
They're
are
all
big
back
boy.
to back.
Mhm. Those are big boy
So we're
cruises.
arriving on a Saturday, leaving that Saturday, arriving on a Sunday, leaving Sunday, and there's about a 4 or 5 hour window.
Where they turn that boat over when we're in Coco.
That
and it's
boat
like
is getting
everyone's
do you guys even get off at Coco?
We could, because they have
when we had time
when
to,
we had
of
time, which
course,
was not very often.
They got to pressure wash the balconies
Yeah.
where everybody's been pumping their old lady.
No, but-
They do. It's disgusting.
He's doing the show, and the pressure washing guys like trying to go around him. That was pretty hilarious. Pretty much every Sunday, we'd start somewhere quiet, and it would be like
I could find the
pandemonium.
quietest place on the boat, and after 3.5 months, like you really get to know the boat. Like this is a quiet spot, and within 5 to 15 minutes. There
Gray
would be
suit person.
a group of guys in jumpsuits
Yeah.
that would show up with pressure hoses and mops, and they just start swabbing the deck right there in front of me.
We're finding all
And
the
I'd
nooks
be-
and crannies.
I'd be on the air with, I'd have Josh in between. I'm like, Josh, they're here. He's like, who's here? I said, the guys I told you about. And they're
Surrounding
kind
you.
of looking at me like, we understand what you're saying. Why are you talking about it?
I fed you my grandma's recipes, for Christ's sake. This is how you treat me?
And again,
They're just doing their job.
We're driving around listening to Sunday Morning Coming Down. We're like, he's doing it today, and you're doing it on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
You've been on for months. You're Joseph's miserable. Jesse's not that miserable. We don't have to say that.
She lied.
She's sleeping.
5 patty Guy Fieri burger.
And then he's just doing
Ice cream machine.
Ice
all
cream
day.
machine rules,
I
man.
do. I
Orange
love
juice
that
whenever
thing.
you want it.
You know,
And I like that concentrated orange juice for some reason. It gets me in the fillings.
what's interesting.
Walmart Mountain Dew.
Because I can see for you guys who like to travel and like to be free, all right? Because I feel
Freedom.
like your
That's
guys' whole vibe is freedom, and then I feel like cruise ship on paper, you're like, oh, it checks all the boxes. Like you travel around, you go to different places or whatever, but
It was not.
it's kind of a jail cell of so, where you're
It
stuck
was.
on the ship, and then it's the opposite of freedom, really. And I'm hearing that from you.
Our music manager actually compared it to that.
Yeah.
He this lovely guy
Welcome
from
to jail,
That's what it was.
It's like the first day.
He's from Colombia, and I remember one of our sit-down meetings. He's like, "I imagine this is a bit like jail for you." And I'm like, "No, I wasn't going to go that far, but."
You have many more possibilities in your country.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, you're right. We should have thought of that.
You know, it's
Everyone here, this is their last resort.
for a lot of people, that's true, and that's where it made me feel kind of like, who am I to complain?
Oh, but we did.
When you get to know and you absorb the experiences that everybody else is having, working 60, 80 hours plus a week, who am I to go, man? I mean, we're sleeping in bunk beds and a relatively large cabin.
Yeah, compare.
And we have to get up and do these drills at 9:30 a.m.
But those people are coming from gigs. They started at 5 a.m. They're going to drill and go right back to work.
Yeah.
We're like, we can get a nap in.
So relatively speaking, it wasn't bad. But to answer the question, Jesse said yes, we do it again. I said no, but I would amend my answer by saying, yeah, I'll do it again, but under the
Now we
right
need to ask.
circumstances,
We kinda
the right conditions, which now we've asked for, and I think that we could get them. And it may not be with Carnival, it might be with a different cruise line. But the thing of it is, we could never have conceived of doing that if we didn't have this experience first.
And now the
So this was like a necessary.
You got it out of the way.
Pain to
and the maritime law training goes from ship to ship. It's literally just what's required of you
That's what they
when
told
you're
us.
on the water.
Yes.
So it's supposed to last 5 years or something like that. We haven't looked into it because our schedule is still full till
Well,
spring.
Tom Scuba, he's open water, deep
This
water.
is mesmerizing, by the way.
scuba
Speaking of
diving.
scuba
sorry.
diving.
Did you have any
No, see,
crazy
we
nights where you
thought-
fell out of your bunks, or did
Oh,
you have
yeah.
any nights where you thought the ship was going down or anything?
Not going down, but the ship moved around quite a bit.
I
more
like
like
the
falling.
rocking was nice.
Yeah, I like it too.
I like that.
Well, let's talk about the customers here because I saw there's some social media videos going around. I don't know if Daniel saw them, but I saw it on TikTok the other day. They're like sold out Carnival cruise ship during departure, and then it looked like. I mean, the biggest crowded party on the top deck, and they're playing. I mean, the humanity there, it was insane. And then, and what I know about cruise passengers, because we're doing the Tom and Dan cruise,
they're the
coming
most
up,
polite.
is that you
top tier Southern charm.
You're on a cheapo vacation with unlimited free gray hot dogs
and booze. It's the booze.
And this may be your one vacation a year to blow it out.
And Uncle Tony loses his mind the first hour of the first day.
We
Right?
saw that.
we did.
And you are drunk and you don't care about nothing.
Do you get to see all the people that are like in wheelchairs dead that are getting wheeled down to the brig?
So can you believe that there is a morgue on those ships?
Yeah. In case someone dies,
I
they
didn't know there was
put
a
you
morgue.
in the
That's where you
freezer.
should have done your show, dude.
That would have been hilarious.
Totally
It was
quiet.
right by the
I
laundry.
should have done it for the morgue.
Totally quiet. Coming to you live from the morgue.
Probably
sounds-
not going to see a lot of interruptions.
Yeah, that's
hopefully.
very cowboy.
Or if you do, there's something to talk about.
Yeah, super Johnny Cash to go live from the morgue.
I'd like it better if they
cold in there.
if they Osama you off the side, you know what I'm saying, into the ocean.
This week's theme: dead people.
Songs about putting men in the ground.
Yeah, but it really is just like a giant working town of that never stops.
A
And
massive
and to be
hotel.
honest, did you ever go to that opening party once the whole time we were on it? You never even stepped foot there.
Nah, it just seemed like
You know where to avoid.
Wasn't my
You
cup
know
of
where
tea.
those people are.
Did you guys have any enemies? Like, were the singer-songwriters versus like...
We got along great with everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Okay, you
Crew
didn't have
was
like...
awesome.
I wanted you to have like enemies like the breakdancers. Like
The captain and the staff captain were
Oh, they were awesome.
big fans. They'd come to
Nice.
all of our shows. Oftentimes, I'd be playing, going, "Who is steering the ship right now?" These guys,
Yeah.
right there, just smiling and giving us a.
Yeah. You're killing it, man.
Yeah, they were good folks.
That's awesome.
And their names, Marco and Paulo.
all right,
Pretty close.
So close.
So close.
So close.
Oh, man. Almost there.
So, what's your guys' plans in the next? Do you guys plan out your 2 years in advance, 5 years? Like, do you kind of take it year by year?
He's a 5-year guy, and I'm a minute by minute.
I should start planning farther in advance, but right now,
Never
we're planned up until March of next year.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's good.
And then does that involve like how long are you in Florida for? When do you start heading back towards Alaska?
That's all done, like flights and all that's booked. We actually go to Ireland on the 15th, and we are touring in Ireland for 3 weeks.
For birthday
For his
soiree.
birthday.
Oh,
you guys
that's cool.
remember
Whirlwind
Casey's
tour.
on Central?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So he went out to
Casey
New
is
Smyrna,
hosting us.
but then he bought a bar
He's
in
in
Ireland.
Wexford,
Oh,
which is
really?
about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of Dublin.
Yeah.
And we have a handful of gigs playing at Casey's in
That's so
Wexford.
cool.
Yeah.
And then we're playing. Looks like we're going to be doing something in Dublin as
the
well
Hard Rock
at the
and
Hard
stuff.
Rock.
Killer, man.
Shooting some video.
Have you guys met enough people in your travels that you can kind of hop around the world just based on the people you know and like business owners,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
but like bar owners will host you like
Absolutely.
like Casey's in Dublin.
Yeah,
You're like,
that's
hey,
crazy,
come play
dude.
here, and
How
then
cool is that?
you make a little bit of money, and
Yep.
then like it really is an awesome way to live where you're making money as you travel and doing what you love to do.
I think
and
it's
you're-
what what we all used to do.
Yeah.
Before we all got like, no, let's just park it here and kill ourselves.
Well,
With these crazy ass jobs, right? Like, nope, right here's fine, and this is okay, and I'm just going to sit here and make my money and die.
Well, the rest of us shackled our legs to kids, and now we're stuck.
And we're in the gray jumpsuits smoking cigarettes on the back of the boat.
Kids is a big thing. Joseph and I were lucky. We had the same kind of ideas that we just didn't want that, and so it's been great because that does change things. You can't,
way better without kids.
You can't. They're expensive too.
Yeah.
Like if you can just go travel and of course stay above bars. We stay. We don't care about our accommodations. We're not picky about those things.
I
so
care a bit about.
I know, but we've stayed some pretty places I wouldn't have any kids.
Our standards are flexible.
What's the worst?
I like a biker clubhouse.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
What's the
We need
worst
a level of safety?
Okay, in the past 2 years, what's the worst place you slept?
No, but it's going to be different.
Carnival cruise ship.
It's going to be different. It's going to be different for both of them. Remember, you got into trouble last time you asked a question like that.
That's
There was a place on the Turnagain Pass.
Where is that?
It's just south of Anchorage.
Okay.
It's this big, like a 30-mile hairpin
Around the
that
ocean.
you go around. They call it the Turnagain because you're constantly turning. I guess that's where they got the name from.
Brilliant. The Turnagain.
That's the first time I heard it.
Turn again.
Makes sense.
Anyway, at one part of this big Turnagain arm, they call it, there's a couple of really
Bear. I don't want to say it because they're friends of ours.
it's a motel, and that bed, there's no way you could move without it going. And it was insane. It was like something out of a bad SNL skit because but on top of that, it was just so small. And then
It's in the middle of nowhere, though.
In the middle.
It's in the middle of nowhere, but it was so loud you'd thought that they were hosting the Olympics. There was, and speaking of Olympics, there was this family from somewhere, and their children were just running around like practicing calisthenics.
Yeah.
Like it sounded like they were tossing a medicine ball, but it was hitting the walls and the ceiling and the floor, and it was just on and on and on.
Like 6 in the morning because the sun doesn't set.
I would have thought, if I didn't know that there was a family, I would have thought that there was some
like a fight,
like chemical stuff going on.
They're all coked out of their head.
Right.
I'm
But
not sure you can say it.
there were children involved, and they were just up all night. Anyway, that
coked
was
out children.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way,
Mountain Dew, same thing.
Yeah.
You mentioned something I forgot about. It's like there are sometimes a year it doesn't get dark.
Yeah.
And so it's
Doesn't that
just
drive you nuts?
And that's in the summer, right?
Yeah, so right now, solstice just happened.
Yeah, so all the days are getting a little shorter.
Already.
But
but for most parts, it's like 20 hours of sunlight and then the 4 hours of like dusk.
It's nice, though. You can go fishing at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And,
You would know
and
it.
see your line perfectly. You see the fish in the water. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah, but what was that movie where I think it was Robin Williams? He went crazy. It's called like Insomnia or something like that. And it was about like living in Alaska, and then like it never gets dark and it just drives people crazy. Like that's a thing.
Well, that's
right?
what you have Ambien for.
But Ambien also makes you have sex with homeless people at Walgreens. Remember that?
Side
What?
effect.
I'll never forget that story. Some lady it's right up here at Colonial. She took the Ambien, and then she's like, I had sex with a homeless man.
I do.
Sure it wasn't her husband?
No, he wasn't.
No,
and
you
the
could
guy,
black
I think
out
it
on
was
that.
fine. I think the guy, like, there was nothing bad. The guy was like, yeah, she came up here and had sex with
He
me.
didn't catch anything?
No. A great time. A great time.
When you're in town, do you do Sunday morning coming down now at the station, or do you still do it?
No.
Have you guys been there?
I don't think
lately?
Josh can handle seeing me in person.
Scary.
Okay, have you
Am
been
I allowed
there?
to say that? It's scary now.
They've kind of downsized.
It's not like an
haven't they?
atmosphere to go
Everything's
in.
cubicles and I'm used to the bigger studio, but no.
And you walk through the big red lobby, which is like, it looks like something sinister.
Like if Darth Vader had a station,
Yeah.
radio
Who were
station.
those
It is a
red
ghost
guys?
town. You're like, is anybody hello?
I don't know who these guys were, but I know the Star Wars nerds will. But there were guys in Star Wars that were all shiny red, and they carried like spears, and they had shiny.
Well, that's what I'm talking
That's
about.
what it looks
That's
like.
what I'm thinking about it.
Me too. You
Those
did
are like the Vader's henchmen.
Yes, but they're fancier.
Yeah.
I think Josh is going crazier there, sitting in that space than 4 o'clock in the morning.
But when we're in town, we usually host, like we did this past Sunday, we host a live Sunday morning coming down broadcast.
Yeah.
We do it to benefit Pet Rescue by Judy.
Yeah.
You guys know those guys.
Judy.
Local 501c3.
She's a beast.
She cracks me.
And she's doing the Lord's work, and we love to help and raise money and awareness.
The next one's at the porch.
Our next one is at the porch in Winter Park, July 14th.
Okay.
And
we leave the next morning.
We have, it's a great opportunity for us to get to meet the people who listen to the show, and they share their rituals, what they do every Sunday. It's a beautiful thing.
What time does it start on July 14th at the porch? We work with the porch. So
well, it's the same hours as the show, which is 9 a.m. to 1 Eastern Standard.
Okay.
And
but I think they start brunch at like 10:30 or something. But people come and hang and start drinking right at 9 a.m.
They're starting brunch actually at 11, but they're going to have 2 bartenders opening early. So at 9 a.m. or just prior to our show, you'll be able to get a cocktail, get a proper Bloody Mary.
There you go.
And celebrate some good country and Western music. And
who's your favorite right now? Who are you listening to? What are you guys
like? Newer stuff?
Yeah, newer stuff. You got anything you tell people?
Well, we've been getting.
I really dig Tyler Childers.
Love Tyler Childers, Cody Jinks.
Brandy Carlisle.
What's not to love about Brandy Carlisle? All the members of the High Women.
Yeah. They're just doing some really cool stuff.
I'm stuck on if I can't listen to you, I go to Willie's Roadhouse on Sirius XM.
That's all the same stuff. Yep.
And
awesome.
No, you're better.
It's not all the same.
No, they do. They get
We're
a
a
little
lot more diversified.
Yeah, they do a little.
It's the same.
This is like
you're not supposed to say that.
I love
That's literally everything I just said. Like I didn't say anything.
Willie does the same as we do. Maybe even better. I don't know.
And he's Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson's been
And there's
around
no
a minute.
commercials. Whoops.
Yeah.
Back on the cruise.
They do funny things. The reason I like it is because they do funny things. They're getting old, and they'll have like DJs on there. The last time I was listening to it, and these are older. A lot of them are musicians that are also DJs, right?
Yeah.
So they're kind of stealing the whole gimmick.
Yeah.
And this guy's complaining about how Instagram locked him out, and he's and I'm like, I can't wait to vote, and I'm like, here it goes.
Is somebody actually leaning on the Instagram vote? I don't know.
Social media scares people, though.
That's true. Okay.
Scares especially old people.
Need to know that.
So are there any, and then you, Jesse, you said you leave right after the July 14th event?
Yeah, we leave for Ireland to do our tour there.
Later that night.
And then from
Catching
Ireland
a
we go
flight.
to Alaska for the rest of the summer. We're going later to Alaska than normal for several reasons, but it works out. And then we're going to stay the winter in Alaska again, which we're really both excited about.
Haven't done that in a few years.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have to
how's the winter?
Do you have to pile up all the wood? And
luckily, someone's
That's a very
done
good
that.
question.
do you have to do that? Because I watch these shows,
Yes,
and there's that
typically-
one show where that ranger is the big heavyset lady.
Yeah.
She's a badass, dude. She's out chopping the wood, and
That's
she
a good
pops it
person to have in your team.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
she's-
people start asking you now, or have you started chopping your wood for the winter? But
That's the
luckily,
thing.
This would be consired late to get
started,
on
yeah.
chopping. your wood.
And you guys have instruments, so you're very much like the grasshopper that fiddled through the right. I feel like that's totally you. Like,
Just get some natural gas.
You remember the parable? Do you remember the parable where the insect whittled? He's fiddling through the whole thing, and then he dies. I think he begged the other insects for wood or something. I don't know. I'm messing that up.
I'm going to have to look the parable up.
Yeah, it's
I won't go with insects for wood chopping.
I
It might be a little slow.
Grasshoppers are lazy.
Somebody's luckily will have that taken care of us. That's the fun thing about Alaska. The
You
place.
think he's going to have a few cord of wood for us?
Well, I also know. Oh yeah, yeah. We better.
We'll
that
ship
up,
you
though.
one. We'll send you
But
one.
it's 2024. You won't die, right?
Oh my God! What if
you won't freeze to death?
What's the date of the event? What if we did a wood drive?
Bring your wood.
No one's ever done that. Oh, wood drive, and then you guys
just
can carry it with you like
cords of
diapers.
It's $18,000 to ship this back to Alaska. Last question: If
people are going to bring wood now. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
So
I'll cut
much.
that out. I'll
Thank
cut
you.
it out. Keep your own wood. Keep your wood at
Keep
home.
your wood.
I want to bring my sons to Alaska, where should I go?
Oh man, do
Well,
they love to fish and be out in the open.
Oh, it's their favorite thing. Oh, boy, do they.
Well, Max loves it.
That's a big question.
One
If
of them's
they're
named
like video
Fishing
game
and the other's
kids,
named Hunting.
Fishing and hunting.
Yeah, they love it so much.
Well, you're going to fly in and out of Anchorage.
Okay.
And you're going to spend probably...
I'd say Alyeska, Girdwood, not far. And all the amenities of being a kid.
It's a nice hotel. It has a little feel of The Shining.
Yep.
Just enough to
Okay.
make it interesting.
I want to see. I want to get out in the country and
The Kenai Peninsula.
Yeah, you're close there.
Which runs, you can find it on the map, but it's just a single highway. Once you go south out of Anchorage and you take that Turnagain Loop that I was talking about, that'll take you, at one point the road splits and you can either go to Whittier or Seward, or you can take a right and that'll take you to Cooper Landing all the way down the Kenai Peninsula, and it's called the Kenai Peninsula after the river, the Kenai, which is world famous for salmon and trout, and there's whitewater rafting on the 8 Mile. Is it 8 Mile or is it?
God, it's beautiful country.
It's insane. But again, if your kids aren't so into that, you can still find like amenities. But it's definitely something I would check into with somebody who does have kids.
You like the rafting?
Stay at Gwynn's.
This guy's a rafter. He last time he went rafting, I think he got in trouble for admiring the guide.
Oh, no, I want to. No,
it was like a powerful river lady.
I want to get out into Alaska and
run around in a loincloth.
I want to
stab a bear.
I want to sleep in a cabin. I want to rough it.
Okay.
Are you down with RVing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
just throw the family in an RV.
Okay.
I've got a great idea for you, and I'll have to look it up off air, but save you a lot of money. And you can pick up an RV.
You can actually get paid to do
it. It's one of the states that's on the
drugs. Drugs in an RV.
Yes,
all you gotta do is take 10 pounds of contraband.
What happened? Joseph Martin's had me and my sons drive this cocaine.
That's a story. I want to die
Even
with
better
that
idea.
story.
Just put it
I guess I can say this now because it's so illegal, but I got stopped the first time in Canada with weed.
I remember
They
this.
almost sent me to like Canada jail.
I remember when you couldn't talk
Canada
about this.
loves weed.
Yeah.
No, you mentioned this to
And I
me,
said
and you
I
were like,
couldn't talk
"I
about it?
can't talk about this."
Oh, yeah.
I remember this.
So I was, in some ways, this story is somewhat true, but I wasn't trying to.
The only
smuggle
promise
it or
at the end of it was the guy goes, "Well, we're going to keep your name off the Interpol."
They took all my
How's
weed,
that
though, man.
sound
Took
for
all
you?
Was
my
it just a
weed.
personal amount, or was it a lot?
It was a little bit more than that. But I mean, it was personal for me. It was personal for me. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I barely even
I would
smoked a
drive an
joint
RV
anymore.
down the loop.
And we all had different tolerances at different times.
Yeah, it wasn't that strong either, like it is now. You get a little bit, and you're like,
It's true.
Lord.
That is true. You used to need like a big old baseball-sized bag of
back
weed to
then
get
there
high.
was like seeds in it still, you know?
Well, again, July 14th at the Porch.
Yes.
If you want to watch Sunday Morning Coming Down live, have an awesome brunch.
Yes.
Go see Jesse and Joseph off before they leave to Ireland. They're only in town for a small amount of time.
It's probably one of your only times.
Here's the
to see
thing.
them.
Thank them for doing it.
Yeah.
Like, they are doing it for us. They are doing it for you guys. Like, this is, like, it's seriously.
You have like a digital tip jar. Like, hey, thanks for doing this. Here's $20.
And it's commercial free when you're in person, because when we go to a commercial break, I play a lot of requests that we really can't get away with playing.
Beautiful.
On air.
Yeah.
The ones that drop the
Also,
bleeding expletives.
what's the one gig that we're doing over there in New Smyrna with
Oh,
Hindu
yeah.
Cowboys
Hindu
at the-
Cowboys are doing a
killer. You
reunion
gotta see the
show
band. Yeah.
July 12th at the Beachside Tavern.
New Smyrna.
In New Smyrna Beach. If you've heard of the Hindu Cowboys, that's awesome. Come see our reunion. If you've never heard of the Hindu Cowboys and you're familiar with Sunday Morning Coming Down, you're going to love the old school country music that we play.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Legendary band.
Guys, thanks so
we
much.
love you guys. Thanks
We
for
love
being
you
here.
guys.
It's so good to
Thank
see you
you
guys.
so much for
I know
having
it's
us
like
again.
like once a year we get to see you, but if you're ever in more than that, please come by because we love being able to talk to you guys.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.